What's up, everybody? Get a little tunage up in here really quick. What are we feeling? Some night drive? Yeah. Get these comments turned on. Oh, almost 100 people in here already. All right, let me bring in my main man, Brennan, here. Where's Brennan? Huff and Dough back, coming at you.
What up, everybody? Can you hear us okay?
Oh, I think they can hear us perfectly okay. How's the music level? Everyone, give me a thumb up or a thumb down. You want higher volume, lower volume? Let me know. Man, I'm still wore out. I don't know about you, but I slept for like an entire 24 hours when we got back. Truck unloaded, guns put away, everything.
Yeah, I was still pretty pooped, but totally worth it. Well, if you're in the comments, let us know where you're from. Let us know if you were at Kalash Bash, and of course, always, what are you drinking? Kalash Bash put me in the hospital. Bro, if your erection's longer than 6 hours, dude, you gotta let someone know.
You gotta call more ladies. Sorry, Rachel. I forgot to turn my cell phone volume down. I don't want my Metal Gear Solid ringtone blowing everyone's eardrums out.
I'm going silent too.
Guys, we have over 100 of you watching with us tonight on this Wednesday night. Thank you, guys. So, what are we doing here tonight? Well, we just had the biggest Kalash Bash ever. I've been doing it 4 years now with other events in between. Hundreds of you guys drove from all over the country to come hang out with us. Vendors came to hang out with us. A bunch of you guys volunteered to help. We had the venue offering up a lot of help with staff, and of course all the guys that helped out ROing the match. And we went international this year, and we'll get into why later. But what up, everybody? Seems like everyone in the comments are still tired too.
Dude, I'm seeing so many homies in the comments. Y'all, this was I'm gonna be honest, I had a feeling going into it, because we had the good weather, we weren't going to be dealing with the mosquitoes, we weren't going to be dealing with a lot of just like the uncontrollables. And this being our 4th year, we're pretty dialed in from an organizational standpoint, and we'll talk a little bit later on too about how we worked as a team between Clay and I and the guys over at Dissident Arms, and also the ranch, which is the venue. This year was like we really all came together as a team and really executed our best event. And for not being full-time event planners or party planners, we still have shit that we do on a daily basis. We're all extremely proud, but more importantly, we're sitting here like, oh my gosh, we basically got to hang out with 1,000 of our friends at the sickest party ever. And I'm still kind of buzzing from it, but I just want to say cheers to all of y'all that came. Like, easily probably one of the proudest accomplishments of my life so far. So it was a pleasure to be able to experience that with all of you.
So who among you that came to Texas for the very first time? If you were there, did you go to Buc-ee's and did you get some Whataburger? Those are they're 2 bucket list items if you come to Texas for the very first time. I see Poppy Martine in the chat. Probably the first time ever. Hey, is that Pascal in the chat right now? Right here. I'll highlight him in a second. Dude, Fit and Fire, thanks for the $10, dude. You should spend another $20 and get a tighter shirt, okay? That shirt you wore at Kalash Bash wasn't tight enough, my man. Maybe that's why you couldn't seal the deal at the campsite. You got to tighten it up. You got to tighten that shirt up. But thank you for the tip, dude. Where is he? Hold on. Is this the guy himself? Is this him? Don't forget to bring the drum mag next year.
Dude,
I will
that's
send
him.
you. So it's 3 a.m. for him right now, dude.
Dude, everybody, let's give a big shout out to Pascal. It's 3 a.m. over in Germany, and he's chilling with the homies right now.
Wow.
What's up, Pascal? Dude, how cool is that? Did you see that post that he posted where he was like back home and there's like all these comments? Everyone's like, "What's up?" I was just thinking, that dude's gonna be like, "Hey, I'm coming back to Texas," and we're all gonna be stumbling over each other and fighting to be the one who has the couch he sleeps on while he's here.
Yeah. Yeah, man, he was super rad. Should we go? Do you want to start with Pascal? I mean, we're already talking about him. We have so many points to go over tonight.
Yeah. Out of respect for his time, because I don't know if he's gonna be able to hang out, for the entire time that we're gonna be doing this thing.
So this is our good friend, new friend, Pascal. So he reached out to me, man, it seems like 2 months before Kalash Bash, and he was toying with the idea of flying all the way to Texas from Germany to come do this little AK event. I think at this point, dude, I think maybe we've had someone come over from Australia back in like 2019, but short of that, he did something no one else has ever done. He came from a completely different continent, the other side of the planet. Plane got delayed in London. They cracked their windshield 3 hours into the flight, had to turn around. He was in London for like 22 hours straight. It took him days to get here. I'm sure he was jet lagged. Clearly, now Central Standard Time is a little after 8 for him. It's 3 a.m., so he was over here the whole time in a completely different time zone. He worked our event, so he volunteered to work our event. You can see him there with his staff shirt. This guy was driving around filling up waters, putting ice in coolers, and when his shift was over, he was partying with everyone. He came out to the campsite, gave me a cigar. He knew that I'm trying to get into cigars. Tony thinks it's funny, but I finally get to enjoy a really nice cigar, man. And this guy, so the campsite kind of devolved into
your balls about everything, dude.
So the campsite kind of devolved into a lot of arm wrestling, and something that you would learn about Pascal. His, I'm sorry, I don't mean to offend you, my man, but his facial expression never changes. So you'll have a long conversation with him, just like, man, it's so cool that you're here and we're doing all this stuff, and the whole time that's just kind of how he is. So you don't really know if you're even being funny or anything. So we're watching all these dudes just grunting and arm wrestling and doing the whole thing. And people keep eventually saying, Pascal, come on. And they're egging him on. And he's like, no, I cannot do this. This I cannot do. And he's just on his cigar and he's doing his thing. Well, finally, someone says just the right thing. And he goes, okay, so maybe we'll do it one time. He gets down. They're arm wrestling on this cooler, right? So it's like one of the biggest dudes in the crowd. He's, doing the whole thing. Everyone's greasy and sweaty. And Pascal, I don't think sweats. I never saw this guy break a sweat. He's got his cigar, and he like hands me his cigar and his beer, and he's just like, okay, so maybe we do this. Hand.
Like dude. He doesn't, like he's never arm wrestled before. Is this correct? Did I break it?
Dude, the whole crowd, right? This dude's right here. They lock up. 1, 2, 3. Doesn't budge. And remember, his face doesn't change. He's just like this. And this other guy's like, just doing his thing. And Pascal's just like, okay, so maybe you go now? Are we okay? So now we go? And this dude's just like, yeah. So some guy comes out of the crowd with his phone and he's playing like this German war anthem, and he puts it right up to Pascal's ear, and Pascal's like, yes, and just destroys the guy. He damn near rolled the guy over onto his back. It was hilarious. It melted everybody's face, dude. I died. It was the coolest thing I've ever seen. Coolest thing I've ever seen, dude.
Do we go now?
He's like,
oh man.
Maybe we do this now. Oh, we're doing this now. Bam.
Yeah. I wish we would have hung out a little bit later to see all that noise. I remember like being outside over near the clubhouse at midnight, and like the music is still going, and I'm like, whoa, man. Like last year, Matt shut it down at like 11, right? And it kind of trailed off a little bit after that, but Matt was pretty firm about shutting things down at 11. But what's funny is this year, and it's the first time I've ever met Matt's wife. Matt's the guy that runs the ranch. I guess he's one of the owners there. He's there with his wife, and they're chilling, drinking. And I think they were just having too much of a good time that Matt was like, screw it, man. You know what? The party's chill enough. There's no trouble. And he let it keep going. And then I found out the next morning that apparently the DJ was just chilling up there with a couple of people, and they went till like 2:30 a.m. in the morning just jamming, dude. Until Matt was finally like, enough.
Hey, Matt was drinking some whiskey too, man. He was over there in that side by side.
Right.
He was the one. Matt. Hey, you know what's funny? Matt was the one texting us saying, "Hey, man, you need to tell this DJ to like turn it up or something. Like that volume is way too low." This is the range owner that's supposed to be out there keeping the peace, right? Like cooking off bonfires, like deep in the midst of a burn ban, telling the DJ to turn it up.
The other thing you need to know about Matt is that guy, he's not like in bed at 10 o'clock or midnight when an event is going on. Matt's usually working all through the night, whether it's like fixing something or, you know, doing something to prepare for the next morning. So I would say last year, Matt was easily up till like 2 or 3, if not later in the morning, and then getting right back up at 6 to start the next day. This was the first time ever that Sunday morning we got a text from Matt that's like, don't call, don't text, let my people know if you need something, I'll see you later. So he must have had such a good time that he decided, fuck it, I'm sleeping in, man. He partied too hard Saturday night. So that's a huge accomplishment for us. We got the owner to break character.
Yeah. The next morning, though, I think he had 2 nights in a row of like being up till 3 working, and I just must have caught him like right at the worst time. And I think he had just woken up, and I come around the corner, I'm like, Matt, like, dude, trash is overflowing in a couple places, and we got to get a couple more trash bags. And there's a couple of these, like, hey, princess, not everyone went to bed at midnight last night. You need to change your attitude just a little bit. You got a little too much attitude this morning. Like, all right, Matt, my bad.
We did have an incident Friday night that I was laying in bed and my phone makes a specific noise when I'm getting notifications in our group chat. And so I can tell the difference between like a text or like a social media or Matt, right? And it was probably like 2 a.m. and I'm hearing my phone just like bing, bing, bing from Matt. And I'm like, that's not a good sign. Something's happening. So I got up and I read the message and it was, you know, talking about what happened. And I'm like, all right, well, shit, I can't leave him out there by himself. I'm sure Clay's asleep. I thought about kicking the door down and being like, let's go, dude. But I went out there and we had to go have a dad moment with some of the campers at like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. We'll talk about that, I guess, if you want at some point. But big shout out to Matt at the ranch, Texas. I don't know how many vendors or how many local like Houstonian, San Antonians are watching this, but outside of hosting Kalash Bash there, it's a private club. You can get a membership, go online, schedule your time at the range, and it's a primo spot to hang out and shoot guns on the weekends. So I encourage y'all to check it out.
I wish we could have a full recording of just radio chatter across the 2 days. There was a text message I got from Matt. This is Friday night when the campsite was in full swing by Friday. He sends me a text and he's like, remember, me and Tony, we're like in bed. It's like midnight. He sends me a text and he's like, what's up with the shirtless Asian dude with the really short shorts running around drunk? I said, that is Tufu. And he goes, oh, Tufu, this is my Asian friend from years past. I'm like, yes, the same.
So at that time, that Friday night, when I got up at 2 a.m. to go help address this issue with the gate, Matt and I rode in his side-by-side all the way to the back of the campground, where most of like pretty much from the front of the campground to the back, it was like lights out. There were a couple people sitting around chilling, but right at the back, like over where the long range was, there was that one like really big tent. And like for these people are like in a circle, like breakdancing and doing stupid shit, right? And Matt and I roll up on them and just sit there, and these people just keep going. They paid us no mind. And we're just sitting there, and Matt and I are talking, bullshitting, and all of a sudden Tufu comes like stumbling up. I don't think he meant to like walk into us. I think he just wasn't paying attention, but he ended up walking like right into the side-by-side. And I'm like, Tufu, what are you doing? He looks up and he's like, I'm just checking my emails. I'm just sitting here checking my emails. Yeah. And then I started laughing like, you ain't checking shit, man. What are you doing? It was so funny. I'm like,
I'm checking my emails.
I need you to be the leader here. Make sure nobody shits themselves, pees in someone else's tent, or barfs all over the bathrooms. And he's like, Tony, I just want you to know that wasn't me last year. And I'm like, I said, I believe you. I didn't see it. But you do know a lot of people said you did. That was funny.
Super Geo Killer said, did you guys give Matt some of the whiskey I gave you guys? I believe we did. Matt's usually drinking whiskey one of the nights at the campsite. And thank you for that tip, by the way, dude. Much appreciated.
Yeah, that part's a little blurry for me. I don't really remember what happened to all that whiskey. I just know I drank a lot of it.
So I think I should we've been doing all this talking about the campsite. I want to show a couple of clips here just so they can see how straight R-worded it can get. Let's see. I think we may have a couple of these bad Johnnies in the chat. So what you're seeing here is, this is what it turned into. So, man, I wish somebody had Pascal's, I wish someone had Pascal's arm wrestling on. Dude, even the girls are getting R-worded. And when, I'll show you another thing here. Here it is. You ask Tufu to keep the peace, this is what you get.
Yep.
That's how we keep the peace.
There's Tufu right there.
I'll have to see if Rachel can tell me if there was an echo there. So we know in the past we've had a little bit of echoage. Hopefully we didn't have it there, but we'll have confirmation here shortly.
Hey, Clay, your search history is showing up in the comments over here.
Oh, is it? Oh, that's, it's so funny. That denim chest rig we ended up giving to Pascal, the guy that makes it, was in Georgia, and Rachel said, it sounded good?
Yeah.
No echo? Cool.
No echo.
Cool, we got no echo. We can actually look at pictures this time.
Very nice.
So we were talking to the guy that makes the denim chest rigs, and I was like, man, I really want to share your story about, the Chechnyan mobsters and getting people out of Russia, and now they're here, and they're this and that. He's like, you can share any story about me you want to, except for my search history. It's like, all right.
That's funny. Dude, there's a lot of love in the comments for Cody.
Oh,
Yodi. We tell our Cody story a lot, but maybe these folks would like a refresher on why Cody is in the deepest of the circle of trust with us, because he is like that organized chaos that every group needs, that one wild man that's willing to, like, that one meme where it's like, you can't ask any questions, but we're about to go do some bad shit, and the person's like, what car are we taking? That's Cody. Cody is our wild man. He was raised by wolves.
Yeah, it was. Oh, I see he's in the comments. There he is. Yeah, Cody works it's like tradition to let Cody work the award ceremony a little bit. He's really good on the mic, and he's such a good Flavor Flav to our America's Most Wanted, if you will. He's really good on the mic, really good at giving out prizes. He's just a swell guy.
He's a swell guy. Cody, we love you, and we're glad that you're a part of our team, dude. There's Yodi. There was a guy that was at Kalash Bash that when he introduced himself, he's like, I grew up with Cody. I haven't seen him in years. I know he's here somewhere, but I grew up with Cody. And we're like looking at the guy, and we're like, and he goes, I know what you're thinking. Has Cody always been like this? And the answer is yes. The person Cody is today is who he's always been his whole life. And we're like, I knew it. He's the real deal.
He really is. So, going back to our list of topics, I feel like we should start honing in on a couple of them. I have the list here in front of me so I can stay on task. I don't know if you guys had a minute to see it, but we actually released a list of some things we wanted to talk about on Instagram, on the KB story. I did it on the Clayco story as well. Let's see here.
Maybe you can show it on your screen.
I could. It's listed as a story, but we could. Here, let's do it like this.
You can do it.
Oh yeah, we had a Solid Snake. There's our after party post. There's the third pin booth looking fly AF. Man, look at all that swag.
Look at the dragon. Did you see the dragon at the third pin booth?
There's a real dragon?
Yep.
Wow,
right
look at
there.
that. Real dragon.
Watch, it even spits fire out.
All right, we've got it here somewhere. Oh, there's Pascal winning his prize for farthest traveled. Such a swell guy. Look, he's got his cowboy hat that he bought, I think, at a Buc-ee's.
Dude, he was committed.
Yeah. Super cool, dude. All right, let's see. Here we go. So, there's some topics that we really wanted to go over tonight. We might have time to get to all of them, but we really want to cover the juicy stuff. So, really quick, if you guys see a topic here that you want us to cover, let us know in the comments. The first comment I see that corresponds with one of these topics, we'll get into it. How's that sound?
Can you open it up a little bit? I can barely read it.
I can read it.
Let me see here. Maybe I need to open my screen up a little bit more.
It's a story, so I have to
There we go.
hold my mouse on it.
Ooh, there's some good ones in there.
LARP Fest that people
Yeah.
have spoken. 150 of you guys watching, by the way. You guys are freaking
There's a
killing
couple
it.
spicy ones in there too.
LARP Fest. So people want to know, Tony, what's a LARP Fest at Kalash Bash? What is LARPing?
It's when you just get to like put your hair down and you get to be whoever it is that you want to be, whether that's a Ninja Turtle or a Wish.com Brendan Herrera, or if you want to come dressed out as your favorite action figure or video game guy, whatever that is. There's really, I don't think there's any rules to this. You just do it. You just show up.
So we go hard in the paint with LARPing. I should say you guys go hard in the freaking paint when it comes to LARPing. I saw so many good ones. There's a guy walking around with a suit of armor. There was a guy literally dressed like a Sky with a helicopter on his head, and he had bombs stuck to his body with little clouds. You saw Solid Snake. The guy that ended up winning it, man, do we have a picture of Jerry? Rachel probably knows where we can find a picture of Jerry. Man, I wonder if we have a picture of Jerry.
But what's funny about the LARP Fest aspect of it is we have a really awesome Yelp review of a guy who came to Kalash Bash a year or two ago.
Mm-hmm.
And it was pretty much like a 1-star review. And he's like, yeah. He's like, I had a hell of a time finding the place, and when I got there, it wasn't a gun show. It was a bunch of weirdos dressed up in costumes. Never going back.
So, so this year, every year we give out a prize. We have several prizes. We have plaques that we give out. We do like 47th, 74th, last place for the match. And you literally get prizes for this. We had Mama Kalash, best campsite, best LARP, farthest traveled. So what we do is the whole weekend, I'm looking for the best LARPs, and I'm stopping them, and I'll take a picture of their badge. Super sick badges this year, by the way. Every badge has a number on it. That number is how you win stuff, and it helps me keep up with you. So I would take pictures of their badge numbers, and then when it came time, we would call them up. So we had 4 of them that were still in costume. I think it was Solid Snake, the guy with the full suit of armor, the guy that was dressed like a Sky with the bombs, and this guy named Jerry that literally went like full Russian border guard with an RPG. He shot the match like that. He never changed. And typically the people that win Best LARP are the people that come Friday dressed up. They leave Sunday night dressed up, like they don't stop LARPing. And this guy even shot the match like this with a full RPG on his back. He ended up winning. I think he won a full G-code belt, several $100s worth of a G-code all set up on this belt, and he won a gun. We hooked him up pretty fat, and of course he got the plaque to hang on his wall. He did well. That's how you LARP at Kalash Bash. You can win something.
Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of people LARPing over the weekend. I would say more so than probably any other firearm type of thing that I've ever seen. I mean, I do see a lot of people LARP at Red October.
Yeah.
Maybe I need to go to more of them, but I think the AK crowd really kind of owns that department in a big way. AK Mario in the comments, what's up?
Oh yeah, Mario's a straight up G
Dude,
thing.
Mario's another one that's deep in the Wolfpack. In fact, he called me on my birthday on my cell phone. We were all hanging out and he called and I'm like, Mario? He must be butt dialing me. Instead, no, he was calling to say happy birthday. What a real G, dude. Thank you.
Mario literally has the best video that I've seen come out of Kalash Bash this year, and to know that he kind of got in trouble for it makes it even better.
He got in trouble with what, the RO?
They maybe didn't like him standing on top of cars shooting machine guns. But hey, you know what the slogan for Kalash Bash should be? It should be
Forgiveness.
we ask for forgiveness instead of permission, and
Yeah.
it's a good rule of thumb, man.
Don't shoot your tits off. That should be another one too.
So if we come back to our list here,
I see a lot of people.
I see a lot of people that want us to get into it. So I guess we can, man. If you guys see a topic here, I've already seen everyone wanting us to talk about it. If you guys really want us to, we can get into it briefly, and we can move on with our lives. What do you say, Tony?
Yeah. You want to take it or you want me to?
I'll be brief, and then I'll let you take it from here.
Okay.
So I think the big question here is, where's my mouse? Multi-screen problems. I think the big question here is, anyone that's been to KB for the last few years, KUSA's been the title for 2 years in a row. And yes, they were supposed to be title this year. Had a contract even that said they were supposed to be title and provide a bunch of guns for you guys to win. And you might have even seen, it's been like 30 days ago. We even announced them as title with some artwork, and then the artwork was pulled. So I know that probably caused questions. Vendors were asking me about it nonstop. You guys were asking me about it nonstop at the weekend. And I think I'll let Tony take it from here.
Yeah, I mean, there's a little bit of, professional courtesy that, for us, we have to, try to do the honorable thing here. So we'll probably just address it as simple as possible. When a vendor reaches out and says, hey, we want to be a part of Kalash Bash, it's not necessarily one of those things where it's like it goes to the highest bidder. It's not really what motivates us or what interests us. What matters to us is that we work with vendors that have credibility, that honor their commitments, and provide like real resource support. Whether that be in the form of helping with some marketing ideas that we have. Maybe it can be support in the form of like banners, water bottles, whatever that is. Those types of things really help us out tremendously, because it's just Clay and I. We're putting on an event for 1,000 people, and when it comes to the festival side of things, it's really just us. And then, of course, we got the girls, and we've got Dissident helping with the match and doing all those types of things. But when a vendor steps up and offers resources and support, it means a lot to us. And when it comes to title sponsor, it's like the Holy Grail. It's really it's a sacred thing, between event planners like us and like a vendor. And so, for us, when a vendor comes to us and they say, we want to be a part of Kalash Bash, it's not a handshake agreement. There's a lot of conversations that go back and forth, and ultimately those types of things end up into legitimate agreements, in the form of documents being signed and commitments being done on both sides. And so, as you guys know, when we announced Kalash Bash early in January, February, you can see at the very beginning of the video where we were. We were standing right at the KUSA booth with their marketing director. So there should be no confusion about whether or not that company was aware that they were committing to title sponsorship or that they were committing to being at Kalash Bash. So anyways, when a vendor makes those type of commitments and then doesn't follow through with them, and ultimately not only doesn't show up at the event or provide any type of financial support, it's a sad occasion. Fortunately for us and for most of y'all who are there, you can tell it didn't affect us. We put on a fantastic event, probably the best event of all time for us. That's how we feel about it. And so it was unfortunate, because I think at the end of the day, when you're a company like that and you have an opportunity to be a title sponsor of such an amazing event, and you fumble the ball on an opportunity like that, it's a pretty massive L for them. But that being said, it was unfortunate. We know a lot of y'all asked about it, and it was a bummer, but we didn't want to cast a dark cloud over the event. And as you guys all saw, it didn't really affect us at all. So I think that's probably a good place that we can leave it. And moving forward, I want to make sure that as attendees, that y'all know how important it is that we show some degree of gratitude to all of these vendors, because it's not just a handshake agreement or signing a check. It's committing their staff. It's answering their phones when we call. It's doing the things that they say they're going to do. And all of the vendors that came out to Kalash Bash this year went above and beyond what we asked them to do. So, you know, for those of y'all vendors that are there in the comments, for those of y'all that end up watching this after the fact, you guys know, you guys were really the all-stars for us, and we appreciate that very much.
Yes, indeed. If we ever tell you guys that we're going to do something for you at the batch, we're going to do it. I would never ask anyone to do something I wasn't willing to do myself. And if I ever give someone my commitment, especially if I sign a piece of paper, I will absolutely follow through with my commitment. No questions asked, even if feelings get involved and feelings get hurt. That's just me, though. Anyway, let me pull up our little list here before we get too deep into that, because we got some juicy stuff on this list. Tony, you did a great job on this list. I didn't realize we had this many topics.
So many people talking about the PSA water. The PSA water hit different. Dude, PSA sent 3 pallets of water for us, and we fucking destroyed it. There's none left.
Dude, I think by Sunday, there was like a case. I'm like, damn, dude, that was like the perfect amount of water.
Dude, PSA, you know, I'll tell you one thing, you know, this year, a lot of relationships between us and vendors really kind of went to the next level as far as, you know, getting to know these people. And again, like we just mentioned, it's not just about the money. It's not them sending us a check or whatever. It's about the way that they show up. You know, it's the way they show their face. It's the enthusiasm. You know, if you're a vendor, right, and you're looking at an event like Kalash Bash, you can choose to look at it one of 2 ways. You either look at it as like enthusiastic, like, holy shit, we get to go meet our customers. Like, let's go show our faces. Let's go like hug these people and get to know them. Or you look at it as like a necessary like expense. Like, oh man, like, oh gosh, we're going to have to send people there. Oh shit, we're going to have to write checks for this stuff. Like, choose, if you're a vendor, choose, you know, however you look at this stuff. But PSA with the water and the other support that they did a really good job for us. So big credit for them.
So I want to move on to the next topic. I see a couple people talking about it now. Tony, I'm going to need you to break this photo down for me real quick.
Okay. Nobody like my fake monies. So
does this car come with the pussy magnet? The man tell me to buy one with the pussy magnet.
This is a really funny story, because there's, you know, I think most people probably have an idea what happened here, but let's go ahead and tell what happened. So I'm on the golf cart driving towards the live fire tent from the vendor bazaar, and I think it's Rebecca and I in the golf cart, and we're like flying, and Cody and Nick are like walking the opposite direction. They like flag us down, and they're like, yo, some guy just tried to give us a fake 50 to rent one of the machine guns. And we're like, what? Nick says the guy handed it to him and he immediately knew it wasn't real. And he gives it back to the guy like, what the fuck am I going to do with this? And I guess the guy got queasy and like ran off or something. I don't know, but he didn't stick around, right? And then the guys over at the ammo guy tent are overhearing this, and they're like, oh yeah, dude, this guy, he's like acting sketchy as fuck. He's got a camera and he's like taking weird pictures, just acting stupid. So we get on the radio with Matt, like, hey, and I remember seeing the guy when he came through registration. So I'm like, yellow sweater vest, bow tie, sketching people out, doing the fake money thing.
It's the ATF meme guy. It's gonna be easy to spot, Matt. Like, that's the guy.
It won't be hard to find him. He's somewhere around here. So Matt's like, all right, I'm on it. So of course now everybody's like in detective mode, like fucking trying to figure out where this guy is, and
he's like popping his head over bushes. Yeah. I like the meme now. He's actually hiding.
So he ends up being over, like, I guess he was near the gold sponsors. Matt ended up finding him, and so we like jet over there, and he's like kind of walking. He's got a big smirk on his face, and he's kind of walking, and Jim's following him. And then the officer makes contact with them, and they start talking, and then they walk back over to the police car. And I think this is the part that most people saw, was him being walked to the back of the clubhouse with the officer. And at that point, I had to go dip and take care of some stuff. But apparently, there were some people at the clubhouse who were watching, and some of them took pictures. That's how we got that picture. And I guess the ultimate outcome of that was that they did find the counterfeit money on him, and the guy was saying it was an accident. They took his firearm from him, put him in the back seat, and basically said, "You got to leave." You know, they didn't arrest him or take him to jail, but they took him to his car. He got in his car, and then he ended up leaving, and ultimately ended up becoming a pretty righteous meme in the process. So, congrats. But
there have been many memes.
There have been
about this guy.
Memes. So I think there's two things that we want to say after the fact about this. Number one, there is a possibility that this guy just was like, he's a good guy. He just took it too far and ended up getting his dick slapped in a major way about it. And I'm willing to say, if that's the case and you're watching this, my friend, send us a message. And I think that we can probably try to coordinate an opportunity for you to come live with us and talk about your perspective and what happened. And maybe that's all this was just a simple misunderstanding.
We just really want to know who he was.
Yeah.
We looked. We tried to like zoom up on the badge number to really like the whole place went into straight detective mode to find who this guy was.
Sure
the whole staff was talking about it.
But yeah, then someone came up with a really funny idea that we should do Kalash bucks. We just have to change it to a $50 bill, you know, with this picture. But maybe we can find a creative way to make it so people can buy Kalash bucks and then redeem them for for food or something, or machine gun rentals. Hey, Cody, there you go. There's your freaking thing.
Boom, Cody.
Let people buy Kalash bucks ahead of time, and then they can come use them at your booth to rent machine guns.
Now that's a $50 idea.
Mm-hmm.
Kalash cash, yeah. Yep, someone's already memed it. Someone sent me a picture of a 50 with that guy's face on it getting arrested. It was so good.
Oh, poor guy. I feel a little bit bad because I want to believe that he probably was just super committed and went a little far. So,
well, we got all kinds of topics here now. We've covered Pascal. We've covered the KUSA thing. We've covered LARP Fest 2022 and the Fake Bunnies guy, Kalash Bucks. Let me know in the comments, out of everything here, is there anything else you want us to cover really quick? Some good juicy stuff here. Still have 165 of you guys watching, man. You guys are badass. Somebody said bonfire. Is that on the list? Is bonfire on the list? It is.
Kalash cash. Maybe we should start like our own digital currency, and we'll call it Kalash cash. Like
yeah.
Dogecoin.
Well, you remember how carnivals used to do it in the day? You would walk up and you would give them all your money, and they give you a bunch of like tickets, and that like buys everything there. We could do that with Kalash bucks and put the ATF meme guy, the ATF real meme guy's face on them. That would be awesome.
Hey, let's talk about the bonfire. I see some people. I hear some people want to know about the bonfire. So we had a really good bonfire this year. In fact, there was the lady that was running the food truck over there, the funnel cake one.
Mm-hmm.
She was like, "Oh my God, I just saw the largest bonfire of my life." She's probably feeling the heat from it. Yeah, here it is right here. Matt doing what he does best with the flamethrower, getting things going.
There's probably 100 different angles of him lighting this fire that have been posted.
Mm-hmm. There's pretty much like a full like single bedroom furniture set in that pile of scrap wood too.
Yeah, there was a lot of fine quality items in that pile. Some of that stuff could have been fumigated.
That was a pretty epic fire though, y'all. Oh, so like a little bit of backstory. Colorado County's in a burn ban. And they're pretty rigid on that. And since having that burn ban, there were several large properties in that county that had fires get out of control. So bad that they had to have fire department support from other counties to come out there. So there was quite a bit of, and that's the reason why we had we had to make modifications to how we were doing things in the campground, and we had to be a little bit more careful about the the small bonfires and the grilling that was happening out there. Was simply because there's really kind of like a don't F this up or else there's no more Kalash bashes, because it just, if the county gets a phone call or if we have to have support out there, then the event's over. So we wanted to play it safe and play it very careful. And Matt came to us and he's like, man, I've been fighting for you guys extremely hard to be able to put this fire on for you guys. I know how important it is. And again, another big massive props to Matt on the bonfire, because all I'm going to say is I never saw the hall pass, and this was most likely one of those asking for forgiveness type scenarios. So Matt put his dick on the line for us to be able to do that big fire. So thank you, Matt.
So this is Kalash Bride. She's the one that actually got engaged last year. She's got this hilarious from the DJ's booth perspective of the fire. This is all the arm wrestling in the background. The DJ was super cool. Man, she got a lot of good stuff. Bird's
Dude, I'm
eye
seeing
view.
a lot of comments about Kalash Cash. You better fucking believe that Clay and I are going to start investing some time trying to figure out how to go to the moon with Kalash Cash. So give us some time to figure this out.
Yeah, it's got a really nice ring to it. Hey, maybe even some merch ideas. Certainly some stickers. Stickers are easy.
Yes, for sure.
So I think I saw another topic that a lot of people saw and they wanted to talk about. I kept seeing spring event in the comments. I don't know if people would go to even, yeah, Kalash Bash is cool, but could we do it again? Something completely different? Would people even go to that? I don't know, man. I just don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. There's a science to moderation. There's something that stands out in my mind that Scott at Ars Regulate told us a couple of years ago. When we decided to do another Kalash Bash, I think we gave ourselves like 4 or 5 months from like tickets available, promoting event. And he said, sometimes you can promote an event so long that you just kind of get fatigued by it and you get kind of, desensitized to it. And then there's also the opposite end of the spectrum, which you don't have enough time, and then, it can create some challenges, being able to go big. And he applauded that we chose the right amount of time there. And I think there is a science to too much of a good thing that it becomes not special, and people get fatigued, by constantly being, told about, something going on. So there's something that is in the front of my mind when I think about this kind of stuff.
Good night, Pascal. Thank you for the tip, man. Didn't have to do that.
Yeah. Thank you, my friend. We will see you soon. If it means we have to come out there to come party with you, we will. We'll figure it out.
Night, night. Love you. Bye.
Love you. Bye.
Yeah, man. We've talked for a long time. I think we've been talking about this since like KB 2019. Like, it would be cool to do more than one event a year, to do other things. And we would do Kalashmas here and there, but me personally, I kind of feel like Kalashmas has really peaked and run its course, and I'm a firm believer in burning out instead of like fading away. And Kalashmas, it really can't get any bigger than it was, and we've had a lot of fun with it. So I'm ready to put that baby bird to bed. However, I'm also ready to do new things with our shared time and effort, with new people, new partners, new ideas, and new guns.
So why don't we give them something to munch on? Because obviously there's going to be more. If a spring event is going to become a reality, they're going to start hearing about it pretty soon. So if it's okay with you, do you mind if I just give them a little chicky nugget to munch on for the next couple weeks?
Yeah, feed these little baby birds.
All right. So obviously Clay and I were, Clay and I plan this stuff for a year. There's a lot of analytics. There's a lot of data that we look at. There's a lot of numbers we look at. There's a lot of things that we look at behind the scenes. There's so much that goes on behind the scenes that y'all don't know. It makes sense that if we can create a successful venture like Kalash Bash, we're promoting it about 6 months out. it only seems natural that we could dedicate time and resources to do it twice a year, right? And we've known this for a while, and this year it's obvious at this point that we'd be silly not to try to do something twice a year. That being said, it's time for us to spread our wings a little bit, and it's time for us to like open some new doors and to do, like, in the interest of like conquering new mountaintops and doing things we've never done before, because Clay and I were like, we can't sit still. And for us, it's never going to be enough. When we accomplish something, we're never going to get comfortable. So that we're always challenging ourselves. What's the next big thing? But it has to be cool. And we can't go too far into what theme or what the creative concept is of this event. But what we can tell you is that we made some phone calls and we were looking for somebody that we thought would be the right partner to move and to have these kinds of conversations with, to do this concept that we're thinking about. And we ended up getting in touch with Mike Michalski, who's the founder of Sons of Liberty Gunworks. And I think that where we're going to wrap this topic is what Mike Michalski told Clay and I on the phone after we pitched to him our concept. Do you want to tell him what he said?
Go ahead.
He said, guys, it takes a lot for me to get excited about things because I see a lot and I've done a lot. And, you know, this is probably the most exciting concept that I've been pitched in the past 7 years. And whatever it is that you guys need, I'm on board. So we'll leave it at that. Stay tuned. There's more conversations that are taking place, but we have all the right players and all the right people in place to do something really special in the spring. And we hope that you guys, when you see it, we hope that you'll be impressed and that you'll want to come be a part of it.
Speaking of Mike, this was his post from Kalash Bash. That's the guy that won Best LARP.
Yep.
His caption, holy shit, I finally got to experience Kalash Bash, Texas. Let's just say it's quite a bit different and awesome. I'm not sure what division this dude competed in, but I bet he won. Yeah, he definitely won something. Very cool that Mike came out. Very cool.
Mike is from Sons of Liberty Gunworks. He's a real fucking G. I mean, there's no other way to describe who he is. And if you don't know who he is, or if you've heard of Sons of Liberty and you're like hearing about it again, go give them a follow. Go give Mike Michalski a follow, and then you'll understand why when we got on the phone with him, we knew that he was the person we need to talk to.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of you guys are no stranger to Sons, so very cool, man. Yeah, I see a lot of people commenting. I've seen a lot of people want to shoot matches with FALs, bolt guns. A lot of these people are saying no optics allowed. That's the kind of stuff that excites us too. It really does.
Rocket launchers, dude.
Yes.
I think it would be really cool to do a stage with nothing but proximity mines.
Ooh, somebody said slappers only.
Can you imagine a stage that you just slap every target?
There should be a stage, dude.
Dude, we should make a stage that we should have a theme one year where it's all GoldenEye stages, you know?
Dude, why didn't we think of that? There should be a stage where you chop the guard and you pick your gun off of them. Like, that's so easy. Why didn't we think of that? So dumb for not thinking of that.
That's hilarious. And I'm telling you, I know that they are figuring out how to upscale a lot of these old N64 games. Like, I still in my heart really one day want to throw the largest screen that we can find and do 4-player multiplayer GoldenEye all night long. Like, you know, that would be epic.
Hey, did anyone here get to do the shoot house at Kalash Bash? That looks so freaking cool. Mm-hmm. That was such a cool thing.
Yeah, the word from them was that it was, I mean, I heard a lot of people who were really excited about it. I told Mike next year, let's do AK Shoot Mansion. Lots of rooms. Or maybe have stairs, right? Second level.
I don't want to give away my ideas here on the live stream, but
In this comic Goldeneye stage, you have to start in the toilet.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Oh, dude. How hilarious would that fucking be? We could actually set a porta potty, and that's where you start.
You totally could, yeah. Open the door and come out with your chopper. You're slapping.
Come out and whack the guard, pick up your gun, and go. Oh, dude. The comments in these live streams. Remember when we were asking people about like what we would name an event, and then we got that one comment?
Yes.
Oh.
Someone earlier said, I guess they wanted an FAL match. It's like, you could call it the Foul Fiesta. Such a good name. Such a good name.
Hey, buddy. Come here. You want to say hi? Come here. Oh, you got your ball. You want to show everybody your ball? Come here.
Ooh, here's a good topic. Let's talk for a second about the We Defy Foundation with Carmine.
Yeah, look. Everyone but wanted to say hello. Hi, Bo. Hi, friend. Okay.
So we had a nonprofit this year, the We Defy Foundation. Carmine, some of you guys met him. This would have been in our vendor bazaar tent, the bigger of the two tents. He was anchored all the way down on the left corner, near the left corner. We met Carmine at Kalash. He got up and just sort of gave like a shot from the hip, gave us a quick speech about what he does, and me and Tony kind of looked at each other like, that's the guy. We were thinking that we really wanted a nonprofit to come out. We've had the GOAs, we've had the Texas Law Shields, but we've never really done anything that really helped to benefit veterans. And they do something that's actually pretty unique. So basically what they do is they have multiple hubs across the country. They basically have like this open door policy for wounded veterans or any veteran of any kind that suffers from any type of PTSD to basically come take free mixed martial arts classes. The classes are 100% free. They provide gis to these guys. They roll around. They show them techniques, and this is all free. And the outreach that they've done, this is coming straight from Carmine. He says this type of thing really has helped a lot of guys and gals kind of get their minds right. And Tony and I are not vets, so I'm not going to try to sit here and tell you I know how these guys feel, but the guys that are involved in this organization do. And they're there for our people coming back that may have some problems, whether it's physical or mental, and they roll around with a man free of charge in the dojos, and it seems to be really working for a lot of people. So Carmine came out and had an awesome booth. A lot of you guys met him. He was selling some gis and some patches, all kinds of cool stuff. He's just a really genuine dude, man, and he's a really good people person, and he's just out here to help veterans. No other reason.
Yeah, so back in 2020, right? So, we get like some of the usual nonprofit organizations will reach out and say, hey, we want to come out. And there's always like that temptation where it's like, ooh, this could be good optics, right? Like, let's have a nonprofit out there and let's do that. And Clay and I always were in agreement from the beginning that it's like, let's not just do it because it looks good. Like, one day we will find a nonprofit or an organization that actually means something to us. I don't think that there's any incentive for us to like rush and find that. Like, when we find them, we'll know. And that happened at Kalashnikon about, how long ago was that? Like 6 months ago?
Yeah. Some of you guys might have seen the video we released on it. That's where we met him.
Right. And so we're at Kalashnikon, and then this comes up, and Clay you were sitting in front of me, but I remember you turned around and you looked at me, and I was like, this means a lot too, because my daughter started jiu-jitsu this year, and she's just absolutely like taken to it. And I've done some Muay Thai stuff there at that gym, and it's just a great gym. And so this spoke to me in so many ways, and we had an opportunity to meet Carmine and talk with him and to have him out. He's a solid dude, and you better believe that our relationship with We Defy is going to be much more than just seeing them at Kalash Bash. So hopefully we'll have an opportunity to collaborate with them and maybe potentially do something on a live stream. It really feels good, and we'd really love to share their message with y'all.
This was Carmine here. If you guys wanted to know, some of you guys might recognize this fine fellow. Super cool guy, man. Super easy to talk to. Yeah, I was happy to have these guys there. I'm sure they'll be back. They seem to have a really good time meeting all of you guys.
Hey, Rock Crusher Kennels, question for Tony. Will the Bravo XL mount fit a Viper Spitfire? I just looked at the one that you're, the 5X Prism. It looks like it does have a T1 footprint, so I would recommend the Bravo XL. Thank you for asking.
Yeah, Chester met him and bought some stuff from him. Very cool. A lot of you guys met him. Hannah met him. A lot of people did. So let us know in the comments, since we're on the topic of some of these vendors, like, I could tell you who I was excited about, a first-timer. Did you guys get to meet someone that just really knocked your socks off? Like, what vendor really blew you guys away this year? And I'll start with a couple of mine. Number one, I am so proud that we got Mark Krebs to actually come to an event, set up a booth, and just be there. I know a lot of the younger audience just doesn't know who that is. Maybe they don't know the impact that he's had. He's had a huge impact on the American AK market and aftermarket. I mean, Mark Krebs has been making some cool shit since the early to mid 2000s. Just such a cool dude. Probably won't be doing it much longer. Seems like he's I don't know if he'll be doing Krebs all that much longer. I don't want to kind of speak out of turn here, but I feel like you guys better enjoy his work now. Because these guys, these craftsmen, they don't do it forever. I mean, you can listen to Jim Fuller. Even he'll tell you, he's like, hey, I got like 2-3 years of this left in me, and then I'm probably just going to do my own thing after this. Right. Krebs probably in the same boat. So it's cool that we got to see him.
I definitely hope that in the near future, you and I both will be able to commission a really special build with him. And he's just an awesome guy. Mark is the kind of guy that he'll call me on my cell phone and we'll chat for like 30, 40 minutes. And I can hear his wife in the background, like, it's time to get off the phone. And he's like, all right, Tony, I got to go. And super awesome guy. And when I got into the game, like, 12 years ago, however long ago it was, to have a Krebs gun that's the gun you give your kid. And you hear me say that a lot on these live streams. Like, to me, that's like the measuring stick on how special a gun is what you'll end up putting in your will to your favorite kid. And the Krebs gun is in that group of guns for sure.
And it seems like a lot of you guys had the same answer. Yeah, it was really special having them there. Man, another vendor, I gotta say, HTX and their demo was off the freaking chain this year. Mm-hmm. Javier, if you guys don't know, HTX Tactical, they're a local Houston, Texas gun shop, and they do so much stuff in-house. We do these demos. Anytime we have gold sponsors, I'll basically get on our PA system, we'll draw a huge crowd, and during our cold sessions, we'll give them like 10 minutes on the mic to just talk to the crowd. Instead of talking about guns, Javier put some music on and started professionally breakdancing to the crowd, melted everyone's face. It was super legit. And then his camera guy like tossed the camera to someone and got in on it and is also a professional dancer. Super, super cool demo. And of course, the freaking celebrities on site, the JMac Customs booth, I think even at a slow time of day, had no less than 30 people in line waiting to meet them and shoot their guns.
Yeah.
JMac really killed it this year. They really did.
HTX and JMac, I'm glad that you bring them both up back to back. That is an example of what we were talking about before. A vendor that they show up, they bring marketing propaganda. They build guns specifically for Kalash Bash. Like the HTX gun had all of the artwork and logos all over the receiver. They call us. They're like, they tell us their staff list. Like, they provide so much resources and support. HTX has like their huge customer base here in Houston that show up for them. I mean, that was like awesome. And of course, JMac, there's not one time that I drove past the JMac booth that there wasn't like 20 people standing around. And hats off to them. They are a dialed in organization. Like, all of us are going to be talking about when JMac Customs was like, a small operation, because they are skyrocketing up into becoming a very well-oiled, big player in the game. So we're lucky to be friends with them this early in the game.
Man, speaking of, so I see people here calling out Resilient Suppressors and Reardon, and here we have Robin Peters in the chat with us tonight. Very cool. Yeah, so first time they came together on a gold booth, and they had some pretty the Putnik can is one that is on my list. It looks like I could probably show it. I'll show it to you guys here in a second. They had a prototype can out there that literally looks like some Russian skunk works. It's like the big fat Folgers, style can that you like see like those like Russian SF guys using in some of that really grainy cell phone footage. It's this super cool looking can, and they had it on what looked like a Polish barrel of 5.56 AK. Some really, really legit stuff. I'm a big fan of their RS9. We have one, and I've shot the piss out of it on some of our 9mm machine guns. It is stupid quiet. And the fact that they partnered with Reardon makes a lot of suppressor mounts and muzzle brakes that work with their cans. And the brakes are super sick. The colors they use, they're like aesthetically pleasing muzzle devices. It was just a cool booth, man. They had a really good time, and the people seemed to really like them. Yeah, people said the breakdancing was awesome. HTX getting a lot of shout outs. Ace Boogie, everyone loves Ace Boogie. He's the goodest boy. Everyone loves that dog. He's running around with Ear Pro and Eye Pro, just chilling. So well behaved. Yep, everyone loves Ace Boogie. The Goon Tape guy is getting some love. Very cool. And K&S getting a lot of shout outs too. This is the first time Gordon from K&S has ever been with us. Usually they send Tyson and some of the other guys that work their gun shop. So K&S not only makes a bunch of products, but they actually have a full-on gun shop in Fredericksburg, Texas. I go there all the time. Tyson is like the head honcho of the gun shop, so he's really good at working booths. Well, they brought Gordon, one of the I'm not sure if Gordon is one of the owners. I think he is. No, he was on site. He's not.
I think Gordon told me that he's employee number 2. Like he's one of the original OGs.
One of the OGs
with K&S.
So Gordon finally came out, and we hear this a lot from vendors that have heard Kalash Bash was cool. Maybe they, heard from the past, we ought to go sponsor this thing. Well, Gordon, K&S has been in almost all of them, but Gordon's never been. And he says the same thing that we hear from so many of them. They come out and they see 1,000 of you guys there waiting to talk to them. It kind of blows their minds out of their butts. They didn't know Kalash Bash was that big, or that many of you come and want to talk to them. So you guys have really impressed a lot of these vendors with your the level of your attention that you give them here. So that's what keeps them coming back, man. Atero Arms, yeah, man. Bar War USA coming out for the first time. Not a lot of people know about them. They're about to start making some really cool shit. He let us in on some really cool shit they're going to start putting out.
Yeah, so I'm looking through the comments here. Atero, one thing about Atero, Jesse's a really good guy. I've been, with Kyber Customs, we've been selling Atero mounts for several years, and I would say that I would consider him a friend personally. We text a lot about family stuff. He just had a baby boy, and so we talk a lot about that stuff. And I think that it's one of those things where he's all the way up in Oregon, and it's a pretty major deal for him to make that hike all the way here. And I would like to think that, because of that relationship that I have with him, that he felt, really compelled to say, I really want to be a part of this and support. And then coming out that first year, it was so well that he's like, we can't miss another one. And he came out and, always had people at his booth and did really, really well. And really thankful that a lot of these vendors that I have a relationship with through Kyber Customs, K&S Precision, Atero Arms, Krebs, it's so cool because since I get to kind of help Clay, we work together to figure out where we're going to lay these vendors in their tent. I'm like, Clay, all the vendors that are on my website, I want them all near me, right? I want all of our booths to be next to each other. It means so much to me. So if you guys were at our booth, you saw Krebs was right next to us, and then we had Atero right there. KNS was right down the way. Ars Regulate on the other side. All vendors that you can purchase products at the Kyber Customs website.
My man Carmine's in the chat, everyone. Carmine, we were just talking about you, dude.
What's up, dude? It was a big love fest on you and your organization here a minute ago.
Yeah, man. I see Hub Cities in the chat. It's so cool that a lot of these vendors actually come by to hang out with you guys and recap KB. It's such a special thing, man. KB is like, it's hard to really put your finger on it. It's not just a place to come meet vendors and buy stuff and like look at some AKs. It's just this happening. It's a happening, man. It's a happening of like-minded people. Whether you're a vendor, attendee, or competitor, we're all so like-minded that when you get this many people like that in one place at one time, it is this huge love fest. Everyone starts group chatting afterwards. Everyone starts sharing phone numbers and Facebook pages and Instagram afterwards. And even a lot of these vendors are giving out personal phone numbers to a lot of you cool attendees that they meet. They're normal people just like you. And it's really cool, man. We all stay super close all year long until the next one.
Yeah. TWS, Texas Weapon System. So cool thing about Texas Weapon System is that we had reached out to them a couple times, and I think they weren't very active on social media, and so I don't think that we really got a lot of engagement with them in the past. But out of nowhere, they sent us an email like 2 weeks before Kalash Bash. Like we don't take on vendors at that point, and we were full. It was a full house, but we're like, this is a Texas vendor. It's relevant. They've been in the game for a while. Like, Clay and I talked about it, and we're like, can we make this work? And we made it work. And we basically told them, if you want to come, this is your opportunity here. And they took it. And what was really cool was I got to meet with them and hear their story. And it was really cool because their story was very similar to mine in that he was very active in the forums. And he bought an AK, and he was like, okay, well, there's got to be a way to make this particular product. And he made a one-off and started showing pictures of the original top cover, which the Generation 1 top cover it was a pick rail that went over the original top cover. It wasn't a single piece, right? And anyways, he told his story about being on the forums and, hey, what do you think about this? What do you think about this? Until eventually he had so many people asking that he went into production, and now here we are, 3rd generation dogleg rail, and they're working on some new things too. He showed kind of some R&D type stuff that they're working on. But for those of y'all who don't know, that's how Kyber Customs got started. I was on the AK files, and when I started prototyping products, I would share pictures on AK files, and people would be like, oh yeah, you should do this. And I took a lot of that feedback. And that's ultimately what led me to go and produce what was our flagship product, which was the cheese grater. I did the same thing with the M92 peep sights. I shared images of my R&D and all that stuff on the forums. And ultimately, here's where we're at today. So him and I have very congruent stories about how we grew. I see some people asking about the handguard that we showed at the Kyber Customs booth. Clay, do you mind if I run downstairs and grab it?
Might be. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, I saw a lot of people asking about Molotov.
Yep, I will be right back.
Word. Oh, so Rachel's looking for who all was in Squad 1. I guess she was in Squad 1. She says, everyone from Squad 1. Shout out so I can crush you. Dude, I was so impressed that some of you guys that I've been watching for a long time, Hub City, Dan Booker, Rob Solo, dude, you guys are getting good. You guys placed like so high towards the top. You guys did a great job.
They were the ones doing hamburgers. That's what I meant, babe.
Hamburgers?
Squad 1 ate all the hamburgers Friday.
Oh, that's right. Hold on, Squad 21. I don't see anyone on Squad 1. So what Rachel was trying to tell me was, yes, Squad 1.
crush you. You're
Yeah.
gonna feel my wrath.
Yeah, they ate all the staff burgers.
Damn burgers.
It was on Friday, right?
Yeah, Friday.
Yeah.
While we're competing. They took an hour lunch too.
Yeah. Damn, Rachel just went straight Karen mode. Y'all hear that? Yeah, so we had staff food available on Friday, and Squad 1 like took a break and ate all the staff burgers, and then we were short on staff food, so we had to smack them right on the PP a little bit. Can't be doing that. The wristband looked like an ankle bracelet. You could wear it on your ankle. No one did. AK Mario. Dude, most of those dudes are your homies, Mario. All right, show me some treasures, Gypsy.
Okay. So, just to add a little context here. So, for those of y'all that were at Kalash Bash, you saw a product that has never been shown anywhere. It's a product that I've been working on for quite a while, and it's a popular style these days, but I think it's a product that fits well in our product mix. And at the same time, not only are we kind of featuring a new product, but we're featuring a new division of Kyber Customs, which is our manufacturing division. And the name of that division is going to be called Molotov Manufacturing. And the goal of Molotov Manufacturing is to start to bring exclusive products to the Kyber Customs website. These are going to be products that you can only buy from Kyber Customs. And obviously there's a lot of incentive for me to do that because I want more unique visitors to my website and I want to continue to grow that brand. So that being said, there are several products in the pipeline for Molotov Manufacturing. The first of which is what we're going to call the MK62, M meaning Molotov, K meaning Kyber, the MK62 handguard, and this is what it looks like. Let's see if I can get some light on it. There we go. So this is essentially a aluminum handguard that the first version that we're coming out with will fit your AKM and AK-74, pretty much the most popular pattern rifle. We've been doing some R&D and some fitting to make sure that the product that you're going to receive is one that will be a nice, tight, and snug fit, and at the same time feel good to the hand. You'll see that there's a Picatinny rail on the bottom for you to mount Picatinny rail accessories on the bottom. We've got the cheese grater kind of appearance, ventilation on the bottom, and of course what we'll call kind of a Russian influence side pattern here with the single M-lock rail on the side.
I would call it more of like a Russian collusion kind of thing.
Russian collusion. What's really cool is with that single M-lock rail, you can take the new CDM Gear light mount that we have partnered with them to make. This mount is made specifically for AKs. It's kind of hard to see. I'm sorry, my lighting's not perfect here. But they made a light mount which is designed to rise up and clear the sling mount here. So we'll be releasing some pictures here in the next couple days close up so you can kind of see how it works. But there's two versions of this light mount. There's one that has the rings like it's shown here, so you can mount your own 1-inch weapon light. There's also a scout mount version. So if you've got a scout mount type light, it'll mount directly to the mount this way. The other cool thing is we make a right hand and a left hand version. So if you like having your light on the opposite side, you just buy that mount and you mount it over here. It is pretty bad to the fucking bone. And the best part about it is, and you can't hold me to this, but I do want to commit to y'all, like my goal is always going to be to try to bring products that are priced right. And in my opinion, I think the right price point for a handguard like that's about $99. So if we can get through this first production cycle, and if it looks like the product will sell well, we should be able to honor that commitment. Now here's where it gets really interesting. What if I told you that we could produce something like this I don't know, for the Zastava M70. Would you be interested?
Ooh, that sounds like something that's never been done before.
So, I'm going to leave it up to y'all to get excited and spread the word. And I will tell you that it's looking very likely that we'll be able to have these in the Kyber Customs website and available in really good quantity before the end of the year. So, stay tuned.
And maybe a dong version for Super Geo Killer.
There you go. Oh, I want to show you
Wait,
the
can
Molotov Manufacturing logo. I don't know if you'll be able to see
yeah.
it, but the logo is right there. It's a Molotov cocktail in the shape of a muzzle device. It's pretty cool.
It is pretty sick.
So if you start seeing that logo floating around on stickers and things like that, that is that's us hyping things up for y'all. Okay, that's what we do.
Hey, Tony, do you mind if I show you some logos?
Do it.
Okay. What do you think about that?
That is probably the best investment of billboard that we've ever done. And we don't do a whole lot of billboard advertisements, but we did this one.
Hey, he's losing real estate since we took out a couple ads on there. He said,
Yeah. Apparently, he's selling more ad space on that left cheek.
Hey, Mike and Lan have some ad space on here now. I just wanted to show you those logos are pretty cool. That's all. I just thought they were neat.
Hey, I'm gonna send you 2 pictures real quick. I need an honest crowd assessment of something, because you could say you love it, you could say you hate it, and I'm gonna let y'all let me know in the comments. So give me just a sec so I can email this to Clay.
Send it to if you just want to throw it in that feet pick drive. I've already got that one pulled up.
BonerJams420@gmail.
Yes, Boner Jams was already taken, so I had to put 420 at the end.
All right, let's see here. I know I saved this picture somewhere.
Everyone wants tattoos to come back to Kalash Bash.
I'll tell you what.
Like you guys would actually get tattoos at Kalash Bash. Come on.
I saw that. If you want, for those of y'all who are watching this, if you know a good tattoo artist, I'm talking they need to be good, like solid, from Texas, that wants to come out, have them reach out to us. We'll work out some type of arrangement where maybe we can cover their travel expenses to come out. Yeah. And maybe even potentially work out a deal where they can do some flash tattoos for like a really cheap price for y'all. Mm-hmm. But we need your help, because I don't know if we've got it on our plate to recruit a tattoo artist that would be willing to come out there. So if y'all could help us be resourceful in that aspect, we'll make it happen.
They have to be good like this. So just think about this when you're, talking to your homies that are doing like $20 tattoos. They need to have some talent like whoever did this. Just saying.
All right, I just sent you 2 pictures. I don't care which one you pick first, but I need to get a little bit of feedback from our audience here on those 2 images.
This is the one that you just sent. Got it.
I think ideally for a tattoo, what we want is we want somebody who can do flash tattoos, because it doesn't make sense to have an artist come out there and spend 3 hours doing one tattoo. It makes the most sense to have like 4 or 5 logos. We'll we will co-op the cost of the flash tattoo. So every tattoo he gives, we give him some money. That way the end user can get like a $5 tattoo or something like that. And it just goes on all weekend long.
And I want like a wheel of fortune. Like you spin the wheel on where you get the tattoo. I'm talking tramp stamp, face, neck, forehead, butt cheek, right, belly button, things like that. Like it's I'll throw in a free tattoo if you spin the wheel.
So this is the Molotov Manufacturing logo. I took some cues from the Stoli vodka logo. I really kind of like that look. I also really love the idea that the products that we could make or sell, for example, if we decide to go and do some muzzle brakes, obviously the flame, there's some subliminal messaging here. The bottle is in the shape of a muzzle brake, but ideally I could kill the Molotov Manufacturing and I could just start laser engraving that bottle on every product that we private label. And I think it looks good. I love the way that this logo looks. I'm happy with the way that this came out. So let me know what you think.
Did you want to show the other image?
Sure. All right, so a lot of y'all have been asking if we're going to do another Kyber Customs shirt. And of course, I've been wanting to do one for a long time. And I was really thinking, what is something nostalgic that really meant a lot to me? And as a kid, I loved Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat was the fucking game that made me a bad kid. I was a good kid until I started playing Mortal Kombat. Do you mind zooming in just a little bit to the logo on the front? So it just so happens that my daughter Ella, she's 10 years old, and she is absolutely obsessed with dragons. And she's reading this book series called Wings of Fire. So some of y'all with kids might know. But anyways, I basically reached out to her and I said, who's the biggest, baddest dragon in your book? And she said, Night Stalker. And I believe it was it's either Dark Stalker or Night Stalker. I'm probably going to be punished by her for fucking this one up. But I believe it was Night Stalker. And I took a picture of him, sent it to my artist, and was like, I want Mortal Kombat meets Wings of Fire, and I'd want to do a shirt for Kyber Customs. So let me know in the comments if you like the shirt. Should we produce it? What do you think of the logo? Is it stupid or do you like it? If it's stupid, that's okay. I'm a big boy. I can take it. But I think the shirt looks pretty fucking dope. What do you think, Clay?
I don't know. It's kind of lame.
Fuck you. Anyways, for those
I
of y'all that grew up loving
thought it was
Mortal
like a
Kombat,
Pokemon.
cool.
I thought it was like Charizard, from Pokemon at first.
It's like Charizard. Yeah, it could be, I guess. When he grows up. And I'll tell you, Clay and I've learned this lesson many times. Sometimes we throw these ideas out there and we like it, but no one else does. And that's why we don't get too attached to this kind of stuff. But if y'all like it, we'll do a shirt. And if you like the Molotov Manufacturing shirt, we'll do one of those too. It looks like a lot of people are liking the Molotov Manufacturing logo, so thank y'all very much. Really, really excited for it, and it's a big step in the right direction for Kyber Customs.
But the people have spoken. We're probably going to need to do like a Pokemon collab as well.
Yeah, I'm cool with that. That wasn't really my thing, but I know that you and Rachel were into that. I'm cool with doing that.
She's still into that.
Yeah.
So if you guys didn't know it, we had some real homies come out this year and do a little bit of filming. Hopefully we get a full feature-length video from the Classic Firearms crew from KB this year. Had Clint, my boy, Photogenic Firearms, and the cameraman. Man, what was his name? I believe it's right here. Man, they didn't even tag him. Magnet Morgan. Didn't even tag the cameraman. These dudes were super cool. Super cool. And you know what's so crazy, man? This year was the year, dude. Brandon Herrera came out. All his guys were already here. So he came out. Classic Firearms came out. Freilich and his crew came out. It was a good event, man. We just had people like this just pouring in. And for you attendees, it was cool. A lot of you guys were taking pictures with Clint. Photogenic Firearms is just becoming an absolute celebrity. I cannot wait to see what they come up with. Can't wait. We filmed a really cool opener with these guys and Brandon, so we'll see what happens.
Do you remember the first time we met Graham in person?
It was a SHOT Show.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Do you remember the context of that meeting?
Yes.
It was a pretty funny story. It was kind of interesting.
we were trying to get Suliban from Icon to sign up for Kalash Bash and do like these 5 golden Galeals specific to Kalash Bash.
Mm-hmm. And Suliban, he's like an old school business guy. You know, he's not like, let's go sit in an office. He was like, let's go get coffee and stand in the middle of the crowd and let's talk. And like he had his like little like pamphlet out, like his little planner, and he was writing all the notes down. And Graham is like security. He was like standing next to the table like this, just kind of like not saying a word. And he's so tall. We're like sitting there at the table. I keep looking over at Graham, like, is he gonna say something? That was a good meeting. The whole time Suliban's like, Graham keeps telling me that we need to be a part of this.
Yeah, that was really cool. And Graham's been great ever since.
Weapon Genetics, he made a comment here, the attendees are better than the celebs. And you and I were talking about this yesterday when we were in the car.
Yeah, we were talking about there's not to this is in no way throwing shade at anyone or anything, but there's a lot of events out there. There are a number of events that are like it's like invite only. Like if you don't have some sort of a following on some platform, you can't get in. If you don't work for some company that they want there, you can't get in. And I think the appeal that they try to pitch to vendors that go to these events is, well, this is a special thing. We only let influencers come here with all these eyeballs, and it'll be good for you. That's great. That has its place, but I could not agree more that attendees, to me, have a much higher value for vendors. It's a direct-to-consumer thing, and you're getting real feedback. You're not getting sugar-coated feedback because someone's trying to get free things from you to film on their own channel and possibly monetize content. Right. Attendees will always be top tier. That's who you want to come to events. You want people that actually have a vested interest. It's different when you have these people that come to Kalash Bash or any event where you buy a ticket. These people have skin in the game. They expect this event to be worth their money. They're taking time to be there. No one's buying flights for them. No one's rolling out the red carpet for these people, sort of speak, as you would for like an influencer. This person is going to come to your booth and they are going to judge what you have on your table. They're going to shoot your gun. They're going to judge it. They're going to film it and talk about it later. Mm-hmm. And they're actually spending money with you. They're not just treating you nice because they feel like they should to try to work with you and get free stuff. So Cody, I couldn't agree more, man. But
one thing to add to that, for those of y'all who are like, you know, y'all been very loyal to us, every once in a while, Clay and I are happy to share with you some of our playbook. And I want y'all to know it's important to us. This is a part of kind of our core value structure here. Is Clay and I have never, not once, picked up the phone and called an influencer and asked, like, do you want to come out in exchange for free tickets? It's never happened. And the only exception to that is always going to be Brandon Herrera, simply for the fact that he was there since day one and he brought resources and helped us to promote the event, you know, out of the beginning when there was nothing. And, you know, we were friends with Brandon Herrera, you know, back in the day, you know, when, you know, before his channel really like blew up really big. I'm not saying that to say we were there, you know, we've known him for so long. He's just always been a really good friend. And for that reason, because he was there since day one, the offer has always been extended to him. If he wants to come out, he's welcome to come out with him and his crew. But, you know, but that being said, what I was telling Clay in the car yesterday was just kind of like an interesting observation. And I know that this doesn't apply to all influencers, but I find it kind of interesting that they have a lot of these kind of gatherings that are only accessible to influencers. And a bunch of these influencers go out and they do all this type of stuff. But I find it interesting that when an event like Kalash Bash comes around, you know, we don't reach out to influencers. We don't tap influencers to try to come out there. We just kind of do our thing. And there's very few influencers outside of Brandon that really made an appearance. And if they did, they bought their own ticket. But I just kind of find it interesting that a lot of these influencers out there are self-proclaimed influencers, but they really don't make much of an effort to be in the same place as the people that they're influencing. I'll leave it at that because I'm not throwing shade like what you said earlier. I just thought that was kind of an interesting observation.
Yeah, man. And, you know, I've been invited to these things, and I spend money and go to things. I've been invited to things. The things I spend money to go do, I have. It's a totally different vibe. It's not like this cliquish thing. It's way more welcoming. The things that we get invited to and go to, they're cool. They're well organized, and like you said, this does not apply to all influencers, for lack of a better term, but for a lot of them, it's a very strange dynamic, a very weird feeling. It's just a constant. It kind of has that. I listen to a lot of podcasts, and they talk about like how people from Hollywood are. Everyone wants something from somebody. Mm-hmm. Have me on your channel. No, have me on your channel. We'll grow together. There's always something somebody wants from you, and it always has that weird stigma to it. When I buy a ticket and go to an event, just like everyone else, it's not like that at all. People just want to hang out and talk to vendors and have fun, and no one's better than the guy standing next to them. It's a totally different vibe than these invite-only events. Mm-hmm. And I'll leave it at that, because I know people work really hard on those events, and a lot of them are really great, but it is a completely different vibe.
I think that's one of the charms about you, Clay, and something that's always kind of made me proud to be a kind of in partnership with you, is that, I don't know, you've just always been accessible. And sometimes it can be hard, because I know when there's things come up, you're the first line of defense when it comes to getting phone calls and DMs and, hey, I need help, or hey, this. You end up kind of getting the majority of that because of that accessibility. But I applaud the fact that you are like as accessible as you are. The people that come to Kalash Bash, it's kind of funny sometimes, because sometimes it can be a little uncomfortable, because like we're in like work mode, and sometimes we don't get the opportunity to stop and have a conversation. I try to do more of that this year, but there's definitely sometimes it can be frustrating. Like at the awards ceremony, you have all those people there. All I want to do is go give everybody in the crowd a hug, but we're there to work. Like, we're there to put on this awards ceremony. And so sometimes it can be a little strange, because that, all the eyes are on you, trying to figure out what you're working on or what you're doing. And they're kind of seeing some of the panic happening up at the front, but you've always been accessible to our loyal, attendees and our guests. And, I admire that about what we do at Kalash Bash. And I hope that y'all appreciate that too. We're right there with you guys and gals.
I remember Zach told me when he first met me back in 2019 at KB, he's like, dude, I thought you were an asshole. I'm like, why? He's like, I get it now. Because, dude, you think we were busy at like the last couple KBs in 2019? There were a couple times it was like pure panic mode on just running it, putting out fires all day long. So in 2019, like, people would want to come up and talk, and my mind was like so outside of the whole Instagram, YouTube thing. Like, we're running the event here. Like, I'm literally taking out trash bags. So I would have to keep like putting people off and telling people, hey, just 1 second, because we'd be so busy. I think people didn't. I think people thought we were just we had people running everything for us, and that we could stop and talk. But back then we did not. Like, we had no staff. We were doing everything from setup to tear down to literally taking out trash. We learned after that year. So as the years have gone on, we've been a little more relaxed, where we could stop and talk to people. But there are times, and I feel so freaking bad about it when it happens, people will want to come up and they'll want to talk, and they will just catch me at the worst time when Matt's telling me about some crazy shit going on the radio that I got to go handle, and I got to hop in the cart and I just got to go. And there's like someone there that wants to like talk, or they want to show me their gun or take a picture or ask my opinion about something, and I got to bounce on them. I hate it when that happens. But if I've done that to any of you guys, it ain't because I don't want to talk to you. It's just because we are actually working our butts off running this whole thing in the background. We do have people helping us, but me and Tony and Mike and Lan, we are working just as hard, if not way harder, than all the people we employ to help us. So it does make it so difficult to stop and relax and talk to you guys as much as we want to.
Hey, that might be a good segue to go into another topic, and that is the relationship between us and Dissident, and how that relationship has changed over the years. A lot of people do not know that dynamic. It's like they've seen us there, but there's been a lot of things. There's been a lot of developments in that relationship over the years, and maybe this is a good segue into that.
Yeah. I think some people fail to understand just what it takes. I don't see how one person alone could do something of this scale. Tony and I, I'm not a match director. I don't build matches. I shoot them. We don't do it. So, we met Mike and Lan years ago, and we had already been doing our little small events. And you guys have probably heard this story dozens of times, that over just a lot of, they came to our Christmas event, and then we were hanging out, at this cookout, and we were just pitching all these ideas about doing this thing that had like a big match attached to it, and with like vendors and a bunch of partying. Anyway, that's how the whole group got together, and Kalash Bash became a thing. What Tony's getting at is, you've got a lot of alphas in the room, right, with a lot of strong ideas and a lot of strong opinions, and everyone is, in my opinion, everyone is really good at what they do. There were definitely growing pains, and I think Mike and Lan might even be watching tonight. I told them they should tune in. Mike and Lan are really good at what they do. Tony and we try to be really good at what we do on the event side. And, you have 4 chiefs all trying to really make KB better in ways, with ideas of your own. I've got ideas. Tony does. Mike and Lan, everyone's got ideas. And sometimes you butt heads. Sometimes you really clash on things that could make or break events. So we have certainly had growing pains. Me and Tony have butted heads. I'm sure Mike and Lan behind scenes butt heads. And the event and the match side have definitely butted heads here and there, just as this thing grows, because, we have feedback. Everyone gives us feedback every year. How can we make the match better? How can we make the event better? Sometimes the feedback that we get are 2 completely different things, so it makes decision-making very difficult sometimes.
Right. For example, like, we may hear from the people who are close to us what they liked about the match, and Dissident will hear what the people who are close to them think about the match. And when we come to our meetings and talk together, we both have a completely different opinion on where to go forward, with that. And that's probably one example of an area where we've had growing pains, is because there's, to be a good leader, you have to have good people working on your team, and you have to let them do what they do well, right? And not micromanage, right? And so, we've always kind of let Dissident, okay, this is your area of expertise. It's time to show your best, And there have been a lot of times where, the direction they want to go or what they want to do in the match. There have been several times over the years that Clay and I, we've had to get, our hands involved and say, okay, well, where's the compromise, here? And likewise on their side, they see things that we're doing on our side, and it's like, there's an opportunity for them to get involved and share some feedback. And sometimes it ain't pretty. And we've had, Clay's putting it nicely, but, over the past 3 years leading up until this year, there have been times where it's like, hey, Clay, I need you to talk to them, because I might say something I don't mean to say on the phone, because, you just get frustrated. And it's like, Clay's always been like a really good middleman, and like, he's always been kind of the voice of reason, between both sides. And grateful that we had, we were able to navigate those, because this year was really this year was really the year that separation between the match and what's going on at the main event, where it all came together. And for a lot of y'all that were there, you probably noticed that Mike and Lan came to the campground for their first time this year to really party, and have a good time. And there was a moment at the campground where we were all there, the 4 of us, and we just kind of all came in for a hug. And it was like, that was the moment right then and there that I was like, all right, we finally made it. Like, we're finally like a cohesive family group. And I'm so excited to see where now that we are all like a functioning, like, we are all on the same page, and we've figured this shit out, where we're going next. And it's going to be pretty awesome.
Yeah, and we've not to say that it was like a dysfunctional family in the past. I don't think it was that bad.
No.
Or not even to use the word bad. Just this year it was something totally different. Like, in the past, it's been, it's a lot of it's been just like all business. Let's make this shit happen. This year, man, it was on a whole nother level. Tony and I and Mike and Lan became just like a total unit this year. super tight. The match was super tight. The event was tight. I think a lot of you guys would tell us, I mean, my emails and my DMs were blowing up that like, hey, it was more organized this year than it's ever been. Everywhere. The whole thing. Mike and Lan hearing the same thing from the match. Even, you know, the range owners were like, dudes, I got to give it to you. It was pretty freaking tight this year. Like, everything was just so well under control. I think we really, and you know, the whole KUSA thing, you know, there's more to that story that we can talk about later, not today though, but that brought the four of us really tight together, navigating that, sticking together as a team, getting through just a bunch of bullshit, and, you know, just finally all partying at the campsite together. It's not really something we've ever really been able to do, you know. They're so laser focused on the match, they've had to like leave afterwards and go get more material and, you know, this and that. But this year, man, Lan is freaking arm wrestling people, saying, "Welcome to the rice fields, motherfucker!" Just destroying people, arm wrestling. We're all smoking cigars. Lan's bringing freaking liquor around to people. I see Mike over there chopping it up with everyone. I was like, this is what it is all freaking about, man. Like, this is the moment, dude. This team is tighter than it's ever been. Super tight.
I like how the next morning we're all like a little hungover, and we're like, the four of us are standing around, and Clay's telling Mike, you know, that, oh, you know, Lan was arm wrestling, and Mike's like, so it devolved into arm wrestling last night.
He goes, yeah. So I heard Lan devolved into arm wrestling last night.
But you know, so the Mike and Lan thing, it's like we've always been tight, and we've always done, because they do such a good job at what they do, and because we do a good job at what we do, you know, on the surface you don't really see, you know, that there's those growing pains, right? It's like what you see is that we're able to figure it out. But now, as like a team, like as a real functioning, like powerful, you know, team, we also have to give credit to Matt too. Like Matt has always been just a one phone call, you let him know what you need, he gets it handled. But I feel like this was the year that Matt like just kind of laid back and let it happen, and he was way more relaxed this year than he was the last 2 years. So to a degree, I kind of feel like Matt kind of is in there now too. Like Matt trusts us. He knows that we have his best interest at heart about protecting the venue and making sure that we're like keeping people safe, and we're not like putting ourselves in a situation where, no more Clash Bash because someone shit the bed. I know that he trusts us, and obviously we trust him that if there's something we need, he's going to get it handled. If it means he's up till 3 a.m, you know, fixing something, Matt's the type of guy that he'll get it taken care of. He's never left us hanging. So, as a group of 5, Mike, Lan, you, me, and Matt, as a group of 5, holy shit, guys! Wait till you see what we get put together in the future. I think things are going to get even better. So. Sorry, I kind of went long on that, but I'm just extremely proud of our team.
Yeah, just getting a little mushy, that's all.
Yep.
You know who I'm extremely proud of? I'm extremely proud of our staff, and I want to give a special shout out to freaking Rachel and Rebecca for working their butts off, man. Mm-hmm. You know, every year I tell Rachel, listen, this year you don't have to work. I promise you can enjoy yourself. You don't have to work, and she always ends up working. Those ladies, man, they do a lot of stuff behind the scenes that you guys just don't know, and I just want to give them a special shout out. I see Rachel, she's already getting the big head in the comments. Look, Rachel, you did okay. Rachel did all right this year. Rebecca, you did okay.
No, the girls really stepped up. I told Rebecca several times, like there were just many times where it was a lifesaver just to be able to like look over and be like, can you handle that? And she's like, got it. It's like, all right. It's just an extension of whatever it is your immediate needs are, to have somebody who's there to go break somebody's legs or put out a fire is priceless. And hey, Rachel, you know, special acknowledgement to you because you've been involved, you know, as far as this particular year event, you're involved before we even tell the world something's happening. And there's so much that you do, from sharing the content all over the place, like answering questions. I'm sure people reach out to you and answer questions. You are you are the ultimate cheerleader, and I know it's always a love fest when we talk about the stuff with you, and you get it. We've told you this a million times, but even if we told you this a million times, it wouldn't be enough. We're super grateful for you.
You know, she still doesn't wipe my butt. We've been together like almost 8 years now.
Wipey, 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 wipey. That's how you have to do it. You just sit on the toilet. Wipey, wipey,
Dude,
wipey.
I'll be in there on my squatty potty, so it looks like this, and I'll just be like, "Babe, I'm done." Nothing. Listen. All I'm saying is,
She's waiting for you to stand up, and then she'll wipe after you stand up.
dude, she'll leave me in there for 30 minutes, and I just, you know what? I just have to do it myself. Have to do it my damn self.
Oh man. Well, how are we doing on views? Or do we still have a decent?
So I got 130 of you bad Johnnies watching.
Jeez. Hey, some of y'all need to keep it down in the comments. If you haven't commented yet, and you've been watching this entire time, quit being a lurker and comment something.
I will say that 30 minutes of waiting for Rachel to come wipe my butt, I get some of my best editing done while I'm sitting on the toilet.
Oof.
I think a lot of people are like that. Yeah, on the toilet. I think most people consume YouTube and Instagram. For me, it's editing videos. Sitting on the toilet's like my quiet time for knocking out videos.
I'm a hybrid wiper, Rachel. I don't stand, but I don't just sit on the toilet. Like, I have to kind of I got to get leverage.
Hey, look,
right?
This dude's asking the hard questions. Serious question now. Do y'all stand up and wipe your butt, or do you stay sitting down? Hey, you think you know your friends until one of them says, "I stand up and wipe my butt, doesn't everyone?" Yeah, you'll feel like you don't even know this person anymore.
But you don't wipe back to front, dude. You wipe front to back.
Explain to me. Explain to me how standing up and wiping your butt works. You're mushing it all together when you stand up.
Look, there's a difference, Clay.
Oh wait,
Let's get something straight.
Tony's trying to tell us that he does that. He's one of these weirdos.
No. What I'm saying is, it's not just sit or stand. Like, you're not sitting here and wiping, but you're also not doing this. It's more of like here, you know, you have to kind of you got to get yourself some room to work.
Oh,
also,
dude.
you have to look at what you did, you know?
Bro, we got some standers in the comments. I'm about to boot these guys.
I'm sure everybody that takes a dump looks to see what it's like. You know, you gotta kind of like, is this worth taking a picture or not?
Cody's saying, you know, he's like talking about the poop lasagna? You gotta wipe, fold, wipe, fold, wipe, fold. Oh, I think we had some other comments we should get into. Let me pull up the list.
My favorite comment is the guy that says, "Who wipes?"
Dude, what I don't like is people act like I'm the only one in this room that uses a squatty potty. What is wrong with you animals? The human body was meant to squat and poop. That's why there's holes in the floor in China.
Dude, the truly elevated people just jump in the shower. Dude, for sure that's happened many times. Sometimes it's just like, it's time for a shower. Fuck this.
There have been times where afterwards you're just like, oh my God, I need a fucking shower after this.
I need a full body cleanse after that. Oh gosh, dude, the comments. I need to turn that AC down a little bit. I'm overheating from laughing so hard.
We have knocked out every single one of our talking points except for one.
The one topic that got the most engagement in comments is the ass wipe topic.
What is a waffle stomp? This guy's like, hey, waffle stomp all the way. What is... Rachel, Google waffle stomp. I gotta Google what that is. What is a waffle stomp? Hold on, I'm gonna Google it.
I think this is one of those examples of times, Clay, where you just need to live Google it.
Oh shit! Dude, look at this.
Hold on a second.
Hey, some people just poop in the shower and stuff it down the drain with their big toe. I guess they call that a waffle stomp. Yeah, there's the drain. They just you stuff it down the drain with your toes.
Oh my god.
Oh. I'm so taxing that. Never heard of a waffle stomp. Oh my god, there's so many good waffle stomps.
I'm dead.
Oh, there's a sound, dude. Oh, dude, there's a SoundCloud for waffle stomp. I wish you guys had sound right now. That was.
Turn on sound, and I won't talk.
All right. Do you guys want to hear what? Do you guys want to hear the waffle stomp SoundCloud? Here, Tony. Let me mute you for a second. You guys have to hear this. 1 second. Listen to this.
Cheeky nudge.
Waffle stomp.
Bitch, when I fart, better clear a path. Sharp in my pants, don't wanna see the aftermath. 5 more minutes left in the class. Will someone smell the shit excreting from my ass? Teacher walks up, disgusted face.
All right, that's enough of that. I just lost the monetization on this video.
And we gotta tell Rebecca to tell Ella to earmuffs.
Waffle stomp. Dude, that was great. Oh, goodness.
Oh gosh.
Ooh, goodness. Goodness me. Ooh, that's the waffle stomp. Hey, thank you for Ross Wingo. Thank you so much for that. That was great.
Dude.
This guy's like, it's like poo-poo dubstep.
Oh gosh. Look at Rebecca's comment. Oh.
Hold on, where is it?
Oh my gosh, dude. Y'all had me freaking crying. Anyone want to meet up at the Waffle House? Oh gosh.
Hey, we got a tip for that one. Keeping it real.
Yeah.
Thanks, Smash.
Dude. Okay.
Oh yeah,
right.
dude, we need waffle stomp stickers. That's not a bad idea.
We can
Dude.
do that.
Yeah, we got like stomp on some waffle mags. We could do that. That'd be cool.
Dude, just get a couple waffle mags with a boot on it or something. Waffle stomp.
Waffle stomp. Write that down. Like seriously, write that down.
Yes, I've written it down here.
Tony's already written it down.
Anytime these things come up,
Sometimes an
I
idea
got my
just
idea pal thing right here. I write all my ideas down.
it's like lightning just strikes the tip of your penis when you have a really good idea.
Look, waffle stomp slaps.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh. All right, going back to live stream topics here. Let's make sure that there's nothing like really significant here that we've missed.
We've missed one topic. We've really talked about everything. There's only one topic, and that was prize table.
The award ceremony.
Yep.
So, how many of y'all that were at Clash Bash, obviously, how many of y'all were at the award ceremony, and what did you think?
Did anyone in the comments actually win something?
Oh, hey, someone's asking about the gate. We were supposed to talk about that when we were talking about the campground shenanigans. Do we want to circle back, or do we want to just address that real quick?
Okay, talk about it.
Ethan is asking details about the gate. So, Friday night, here's the deal. Okay,
I forgot about this.
That the venue, the ranch, the place that we do Kalash Bash, it's not my house, it's not Clay's house. We are basically renting that property for the entire weekend. And there's some conditions. Some of those conditions are pretty easy to meet, and some of them are like, they're compromises that, we wish we didn't have to make, but we get it. One of those is not a single person is allowed on the property without signing a liability waiver. There's wild animals on the property. Obviously, it's just kind of a no-brainer. You would never let anybody come to a place like that without having them sign a liability waiver that releases you of, any type of shit that could happen while they're there. That's on their own negligence or their own issues. So one of the conditions with the range is nobody's allowed on the property without signing a liability waiver. Well, as a lot of y'all are aware, we allow people to come early on Friday because why not? It's like, get your shit set up. That way Saturday, you don't have to worry about arriving and doing all that. You just wake up and go get your shit done. One of the challenges that we've always run into is at some point, Clay and I have to go back to work. And at some point, when that happens, there's no more ability to go through the process of signing liability waivers. So that's why a lot of people were confused about why y'all closing the gate at 5 o'clock on Friday. It's because we have to honor the contingencies that are set with the venue, which is that nobody's allowed in unless they sign a waiver. So unless we want to have somebody babysitting the gate all night long, which we don't want to do, at some point we have to close the gate. Well, ultimately what ended up happening Friday night was that people were leaving the property and they were basically manually opening the gate or forcing the gate to open to allow people in. And the negative to all of that is that people were being let in that weren't signing liability waivers. So basically it could have been anybody allowed into the property. Even if they bought a ticket or didn't buy a ticket, people were being allowed into the property. And I tried to prevent that from continuing to happen before the venue owner himself caught wind of it. So when I left to go get food, I came back and I noticed that there were people there fucking with the gate. So one of them was being a naughty boy, somebody who is kind of a friend of ours who we've known for a long time, who was participating in that activity, and it was not good. And I let them know to, hey, knock it off, because you're going to be the reason why you fuck shit up for everybody else at Kalash Bash because you want your friends in, at the event. And it sucks. We hate that happens, but this is somebody else's house and these are the house rules. And this is basically you breaking their shit. So shortly after that incident took place, the owner decided to come check in on the gate. And what did he find? The same shit was going on. People were hanging out, opening the gate for people. So the owner ended up having to kick people out, that happened to. So I don't know if y'all, anybody who was a part of all that is in the comments, but that's ultimately what ended up happening. And what was kind of funny about it all was I'm sitting there with the venue owner and he's telling, we met up and we went to the gate and we're standing there at 3 a.m. or 2 a.m, whatever time it was. And we're talking about it. And he's like, Tony, I get it. Like, the last thing I want is people sleeping on the side of the road. Like, I get it. But, I'm not going to put, my range and our, everything that we've got here at risk, so that somebody can come in here and we don't know who they are. So we were able to call back the one kid that got sent home. We ended up calling him to come back. He was actually sleeping in his car outside of the gate. And I called him and I'm like, come on in. And Matt and I shook hands with him and explained to him what's going on. And we ended up having kind of like a dad moment with the kid. And we're like, do you get what's going on? You get why we had to throw you out? And we ended up letting the kid come back in. He slept in his car and the next morning got all of his stuff and ended up working it out, with him. And I respected Matt for that, because he very much could have held me responsible and said, these are, this is your event and you need to sit here and guard the gate all night long. But he, he compromised with us and we were able to let that guy back in. So that was the gate incident. Moving forward, y'all, you just got to understand, not all the rules are going to make sense, but they're all there for a reason.
So, read that stuff before you come out.
Read it.
Someone mentioned a topic we totally forgot to talk about, and that was our art designer for this year.
Oh, yeah. This is something we're really proud of, is we hire an artist every year to help us with our collateral, with our event collateral. It's just something that, as much as Clay and I would like to do it ourselves, why not hire someone who makes really awesome art? Remember when we first found him, we were like, holy shit, dude.
Yeah, so this is Caleb. Caleb Linden Design. So his claim to fame, or at least what he does a lot, is the melty face thing. Like here he is doing the scream face. So he does this to a lot of pop culture characters, and Ivan is like our mascot for Kalash Bash, right? So we pitched a few ideas, and eventually Tony always he hits the nail on the head with artists. He's like, look, find the artist that you like what they do. Don't try to control them too much. Just kind of let them have free reign on it. Like, you hired that artist for a reason. Let him do his thing. Don't give him too many stipulations. And he eventually came up with, our Ivan logo for this year. You guys all got these lanyards. He actually did the full design on our lanyard, inside and out, made our map for us, did the back side with the tiny little body. He made the Bliat Man banner that you guys, we have our little photo ops. He did that. He made the big banner that was behind our award ceremony with all the vendor logos. Caleb did all of that for us this year and did such a great job. Added a whole new dynamic to the theme of the event, and it was cool that everything kind of matched. Lanyards matched our main banner, matched our shirts. I could probably even show you that. Right. We used his artwork everywhere, and he's a really cool dude. You guys should definitely go follow his Instagram here. It's Caleb Linden Designs. Go check him out.
So I think that one thing that I can add to this that I think is, this is kind of like a business playbook. So for those of y'all that are in the comments that are small business owners, or you have a creative idea and you're looking on how to find someone who can help you with artwork, logo design. Let's say that you got a really cool t-shirt idea that you want to bring to fruition. I'm going to just very quickly give you a glimpse into our playbook on what has worked well for us. And I've used it with Kyber. I've used it with Third Pin. We've used it with Kalash Bash. There's been a lot of lessons that we've learned I'm going to share with you. Number one, if you go to Instagram and you do a hashtag search for graphic design or logo design or graphic artist, you will find hundreds of thousands of people like Caleb that they just do their artwork and they post it up on social media, and you can scroll for hours looking at people's artwork, and eventually, oh, look at Poopsicle. Eventually, you will end up stumbling across somebody's page that their style of artwork represents kind of maybe the style that you're looking to incorporate into your project. And I have had really good success hiring artists this way by simply sending them a DM saying, hey, are you taking commissions? What does your workflow look like? And I'll be honest with you, some people, they're like, you know what, I'm not taking on any work. Or some people are just kind of difficult to work with. But very rarely do I find that's the case. Most of the time when I reach out to an artist, this is how they make money. This is a way for them to do a side hustle, whatever. Most of the people seem to be pretty responsive on wanting to take on work. What I will tell you is, and this is important to know, when you go to an artist, you will have much more success taking a piece of art that they've already created or a project that they've already finished and saying, hey, I like this piece of art, but I'd like to just make a couple tweaks to it. You'll be much, much happier with the end product approaching a project that way versus going to an artist with a concept. Hey, I want to do a Mortal Kombat themed logo with fires and dragons and this. because I will tell you, like, those type of projects end up a lot of revisions, oftentimes a lot of frustration, and sometimes what ends up happening is you're not really happy with the end product, but the artist is like, hey, look, we've gone back and forth so many times trying to get this right. It's time to, like, bail. So I can tell you that a lot of these artists sometimes can be hesitant about taking on those type of commissions, because that's ultimately how they end up ending. So find an artist that has, a style that you're looking for, that already has completed projects that are similar to what you're looking for. And I think that you'll be very, very happy with that. And I hope that information is helpful for some of y'all who are looking to have logos made or t-shirts made or whatever. These artists, there's so many of them out there. This is like really easy to get done.
Hell yeah, man.
Super good guy. Go check out Caleb. His artwork is pretty sick.
I think that brings us to our final topic of, and I think it's a great way to close out our live stream, is to talk about our award ceremony and maybe some of the key prizes. And we touched on it way earlier with Pascal, but a few of the key people that we like to give awards to. I think I'd like to start, because she's in the chat. Not only did we have $77,000 in prizes this year, a lot of that goes to people that do really well at the match, first through third in every division. We also do 47th, 74th, and last. But there are extra prizes that go to people that are just at the event. We had a prize this year called Mama Kalash. And we've never done that one before, but we really sat down and thought about, like, we got to pick a chick that is just all about KB. Maybe they've been to a lot of them. Maybe they're constantly talking about it on social media. It's kind of the same thing that we do when we pick our spirit animal. And we threw a lot of names in the ring, and this lady's name came up over and over and over again, and we finally agreed on it. Hannah, she's in the comments. Hannah won Mama Kalash, and Hannah's pregnant, so she had a baby bump. And what was so funny is she LARPed last year with like this fake fupa, and now she's got a real one. And she won Mama Kalash, and she ended up winning an Arsenal Sam freaking 7 in the deal. So she did really well. We also like to do our Spirit Animal Award. This year we went all out. We had a custom wrestling belt made. You guys might have seen that post. And we gave away a Zastava M70 with it. That went to Jose. Our Kalash Bash Award is probably it's the one I'm most proud of. That is something like, we're looking for the spirit animal all year long. The spirit animal is someone who just oozes AK community. The way they dress, the way they carry themselves. Do they go to other events all year long? Do they compete with their AKs? Do they collect AKs? Do they do the whole freaking thing? Jose has a personality that is like unmatched by a lot of people that really try. And it was an easy decision this year. He got the undisputed Kalash Bash spirit animal belt that he can bring back next year, and won a freaking M70. And when we called him up, like, the crowd was like, yeah, easy freaking decision. Like, you can always tell when we pick the right one, where the crowd is totally behind the decision, and they totally backed Jose. You guys saw that we did Farthest Traveled with Pascal. Dude won a freaking denim chest rig all the way from Eastern Europe that are extremely difficult to get. What else did we do? We did Best Campsite. We've never done that before. And this dude won a freaking like $2,700 thermal optic from AGM. So we went walking through the campsite, and we went all the way into the tent city. Kalash Bash has a massive tent city. In fact, while I'm talking about it, I will show you what that tent city looks like. But we thought we should find the one tent that really sticks out. Like, who's got the tent that is so popular, everyone's hanging out by it, and we should give them a prize. So we did. So this is our massive tent city, right? It's big. We were walking, and we see off in the distance this one guy. He's got the Christmas lights. He's got like the huge canopy in the middle connecting all these tents together. They're cooking for people. They're drinking together. There's chairs. They had the whole deal. They had music, and it was just like illuminating the whole section of the campsite. Mm-hmm. And we walked around. We tried to find two, but that was the one that just really spoke to us. And I took his badge number. We called him up, and this guy literally won a thermal optic from AGM. So
right. You
never know what we're going to do at this prize ceremony as far as the individuals that we want to call out. the best LARP, all that stuff. Like, we're scanning all weekend long for certain things. Spirit Animal, the Mama Kalash, all that. We're scanning for those all year long. You know, and just let alone the fact that we give out a lot of this stuff, just pure random drawings. We're just calling numbers. Mm-hmm. And what Tony really loves to do, instead of just calling random numbers, we like to do little mini challenges, whether it be AK teardowns, Podavok mad loading challenges. We do like a Wolverine who can yell Wolverine the best, and we have a crowd meter tell us who did it best. And the funnest one, I think, was the one that we closed the awards ceremony on. We had 4 people we called them up at random, and we told them, act out the best action scene. Like, I need gun noises, I need reloads, I need the air gun, I need the whole thing. And we threw the mic at these people, and they went all out, dude. These guys were throwing grenades, they were giving us gun noises, they were really getting their whole bodies into it. And we had the crowd choose who did it the best. And we would do like the cheero-meter. This is the kind of thing that you should expect at the award ceremony. It goes a little long, but when you have that many prizes, like, we want it to feel really special. I could just sit there and call number after number, just drone on and give all this stuff away, and everyone goes home. But we really work hard. Tony busted his ass while the event was going on, really making sure that every prize went to someone in a very special way. They had to earn it, or it was random, or, you know, we get a plaque away, but he worked really hard on it.
And I've got a couple comments to make about the award ceremony. I saw that someone commented earlier, and I received a DM from a guy shortly after the event wrapped up who was a little disappointed in the way that we structured our award ceremony. And he felt like his expectation was that we would have this giant prize table and we'd treat it like a raffle where we draw a number and you get a winner. And this may not be a very popular opinion, but I'll be honest with you, I absolutely hate giving away prizes that way. It's so boring. You know, here's the thing. It's important for y'all to know that when a company gives us guns or gives us whatever, right, prizes, there's no contingency on their end that we have to give the gun to somebody. There's no contingency. What they're doing is saying, we want to come be a part of your event. Here's some guns to help fund our sponsorship. So if Clay and I wanted to, we could keep all of those guns for ourselves as a way to help pay for the event that we pay for, which, just so y'all know, is an incredible amount of money. You guys have no idea. But the prizes that we get, that's the vendor's payment to be out there at the ceremony or at the event. And I will tell you, it is not uncommon for some events to take those contributions from vendors and keep them with the intention of selling them to raise money to help cover the expenses of the event. Thankfully, we don't have to do that. And so we make a commitment to all of our vendors. Any product that you decide to contribute to us will end up in the hands of an attendee that paid for a ticket. We don't keep anything. Literally, Clay and I keep nothing that vendors give us. And that's why when you look at Kalash Bash, we gave away $77,000 in prizes. There's nobody doing that. Nobody. Name one event in the comments. Some of y'all go to a lot of these things. Name one event in the country that gives away $50,000, right? Name one. We gave away $77,000 in product this year, which is unprecedented. And so it's important to me, and it's important to Clay too, that when we structure an award ceremony, we have a couple objectives. Number one, we want to make sure that we honor the people who competed and they placed in the match. We also want to make sure that we honor the people who are the organic spirit of Kalash Bash. That's why we do the LARP award, the best campground, all of those types of things. Because as you guys know, what makes Kalash Bash special is that. If it wasn't for those things, it would be a gun show. You would show up, you would meet with vendors, you'd go home. So we are nurturing that organic spirit by contributing awards to these people. And you could make the argument, oh, well, you know, some of those prizes went to your friends. Guess what? 1,000 of our friends showed up Saturday and Sunday. Every single one of y'all, to some degree, is our friend. So if you're coming every year, 4 years in a row, it's bound to happen where a prize ends up in the hands of someone that we're friendly with or friends with. But I can tell you this, that outside of the awards that we dedicated for Best LARP, Best Campground, not a single one of the prizes that went out after that were predetermined to go to a specific person. Everything else at that point was we either drew a ticket or we had some type of way to narrow down the crowd, to a winner. So, it's there's not a perfect way to do it, but I think the way that we do it is fun. And we do some random raffles where we'll just pull a number and it's like, here, you won this. But anyways, I'll leave it at that. I know that there's not a perfect way to please everybody there, but it was a little hurtful to get that DM after the event of that person feeling like that it was unfair the way that we did it. But I also understand that there's a lot of these like NRA dinners and there's a bunch of these goofy raffles where everyone goes and buys a ticket and at the end of the night they give away a Jesse James Firearms bolt action rifle or something and everyone gets excited about that. So
yeah, this guy won a Galil in a foot race. All I had to do was beat an old man in a foot race. Yeah, the IWI demo, we gave away Galil to a foot race. We did it twice in a year. This guy literally won a gun in a foot race. I don't know who he was. And I just had Jerry's comment up here. Jerry won a freaking BMG, 50 BMG from Collector's Firearms from literally just wearing the right shirt and being in the right place at the right time. So regardless of if you win something, if you don't win something, just know that you've got just as much chance as anyone else that comes out there. Even the competitors, everyone has a numbered ticket. The competitors have a chance to win some stuff if they come in first through third, 47th, 74th, or last. Outside of that, everyone has a numbered ticket. So when we're calling out these ticket numbers, calling you up for challenges, or if it is a totally random giveaway, everyone has the same chance. So,
right.
With that's as fair as we could possibly make it. So we like to throw a little spice on it and get a little creative with the giveaways too.
Ross Wingo has the right comment here. If you're buying a ticket, doing the odds on what's the likelihood you're going to win something, then you're thinking about this all the wrong way. To pay $100 for a general admission ticket, the experience that you get at the live fire tent with the vendors, the whole experience of going out there, meeting all the people, our hope is that $100 was well spent and the experience in and of itself far exceeded that $99. And then the award ceremony is really just a way to crack open a beer and hang out with your friends and laugh at all the crazy. I love the challenges, dude. That last challenge we did.
Yeah, that one was fun.
PFA guns where they had to do the air gun. Man, yep. Dude, I was laughing so hard. That was so much fun. And to watch, remember the girl, the Wolverines challenge? She didn't want to come up.
Yeah. And she ended up winning. That's the kind of thing that gets big crowd pops, man. And we'll always have some prizes that we don't put on the table that will just out of nowhere go, hey, you know what? Even though you lost, you get a gun, and you get a gun. Like, literally, the dudes losing the teardown challenge won guns. The people losing the Podovach challenge were winning prizes. Something that we did last year with our Spirit Animal Award. We had two guys. We had 4 people that we called up, and the crowd was voting. And then we came down to Chris and Jim, and the crowd was cheering so freaking loud for both of them. We couldn't figure it out. And we kind of panicked because we're like, shit, this is not going the way we'd wanted it to go. And we threw another PSL on the table, and they both won PSLs. It wasn't planned. It was a heat-of-the-moment thing. Yeah. This year we closed the ceremony off with Palmetto State Armory. We had one gun on the table, and these guys were doing their air gun challenge, and Chad's just laughing his ass off at PSA. And so you have these 3 guys that lost, and the wind's out of their sails, and Chad goes, you know what? I got 4 guns. Give every single one of them a gun. And they all won guns, thinking the whole time that you just lost this challenge in front of everyone. But you had the balls to come up there and act like a complete fool in front of everyone, so we still hooked you up. And that's what makes this whole thing fun. So to say that, to ever think that we're just picking these people out because we're friends with them, couldn't be farther from the point. It takes balls to get up there and do these challenges. Like Tony said, there was a girl that got called, and she was like, no, I'm not doing it. And we're like, there's a suppressor on the line. Like, you don't want to come do this? She's like, oh, no, don't want to do it. We threatened to put her ticket back in the hat, and she finally came up. And you know what? The crowd was on her side, man. She won a Wolverine suppressor. it just takes a little guts, and the crowd will win that prize for you, man. We have the crowd vote on a lot of people.
Clay, I just did some rough math based on the last 4 years of Kalash Bash, our prize table numbers.
Ooh, can I guess?
My math is coming to $196,000. So in the past 4 years, $196,000 of product contributions have gone straight from our vendors into the hands of attendees at Kalash Bash. I mean, I'd call it 200,000. I'm sure that $4,000 got made up somewhere, but $200,000 in prizes that were won at Kalash Bash. That makes my heart skip a beat. That's pretty awesome, and I'm extremely proud of that. I mean, I think that's a pretty big deal.
Yeah, man. Vendors really make it easier to put this stuff on. It takes a little bit of everything, man. It takes some people to organize it. It takes vendors to entice you guys to come out and meet them, put a little prize on the table, and they pay for their spots, and you guys come out and you're a huge crowd and you're having fun, and that's what makes all this possible. So right. I think for me I'll summarize and I'll let Tony finish. This year was totally unbelievable, and I couldn't pick 3 guys that I'd rather work with to put this thing on. It was awesome. I couldn't pick a better range, and I couldn't pick a better freaking crowd of people that come out to this thing. Like from the range owner to his wife, everyone is coming, saying, all these vendors, and I'm going to brag on you guys in the comments for a second. Non-stop, people will come up to us and say, we work a lot of events, and the range owner would say, we have a lot of events here. This crowd is unlike any other crowd, whether it's an event we're working or an event that we're hosting, and vendors alike. This crowd is the most friendly, most welcoming crowd we've ever been around. I don't know what it is about you AK people, but you guys are on a whole nother level of just like being some real G's, some real homies with one another, and treating vendors with a lot of respect and just being so freaking kind, man. And I'll leave it with that, man. You guys make this fun. You're a great group of people.
And I'll make mine quick. I know I have a tendency of being a little long-winded and stuff, but I truly believe that it could just be hard work, or there could be a couple of variables that make an event pretty cool. But I truly believe that in order for an event like Kalash Bash to be what it is, requires a perfect formula of the right people, the right team, the right attendees, the right vendors, the right weather, the right everything. There's so many variables that have to be perfect. And sometimes you get lucky and all of those are in place. And for that reason, Clay and I, with our hard work ethic, and Dissident Arms with their skill set, and the attendees, just the vibe that y'all bring to it, just creates like a perfect storm. I don't think that an event like Kalash Bash, Dissidents in the comments here, and one of the things I heard that they told Clay is that they're getting phone calls and messages from other match directors across the country that are essentially scratching their heads saying, how do we learn from Kalash Bash? Like, how do we take things that Kalash Bash is doing and incorporate that into what we're doing? You can't pay for that. You just have to be prepared and hard work and hope that you're at the right place, right time when it all comes together. So all of those variables, we would never be able to do this if we didn't have the attendees that we have, if we didn't have the venue, and if we didn't have our teams, the right people, the Codys, the Hannahs, the Rachels and Rebeccas, the guy with the RPG. If we didn't have all of those things all at once, it wouldn't be the same. If we didn't have that tornado in 2019 and Mike Pappas on the microphone, all of those things had to happen for this to work. So that being said, don't let any single person take credit for anything. It's all of us, and for that reason, it's truly special. We're gonna be old one day, and we're gonna look back and go, "That was a really cool time." I don't think anyone's really gonna get it when we're old, so let's enjoy it while we're here. That's it. That's a wrap for me.
And like Dissident Arms said, we'll see you guys in the springtime.
Mm-hmm.
And for those of you here on YouTube, we'll see you next time we go live. Maybe we should get Mike and Lan on one of these live sessions.
I think we should.
All right, fellas. Well, hey, I appreciate all y'all watching, and we'll definitely see you next time.
Love you. Bye.